Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everybody to episode 83 of Born to be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, as always, Nate Wolf. It is great to be back on another beautiful fall evening here in Portland, Oregon, joined by some very good friends tonight. Quick side note, Hydralisk is unable to join us tonight due to a schedule conflict with his work, so we have a special fill-in co-host, a very good friend of mine and jazz connoisseur, high legend Wild Hearthstone player Blutrane. Welcome back to the show. I always love having you on, so I appreciate you filling in, and it's great to see you.
A pleasure to be here. Fun fact, this is the first time I'm doing the show with sheep.
Oh, how exciting.
Very excited.
Excitement abounds.
We did both fill in 1 week many weeks ago, but that was before I was an official co-host. So yeah, this is the first time in the official role. So check that out.
Love it. Sure. And of course, welcome back, Electric Sheep City. How are you doing this Friday evening?
Meowdy, I am doing pretty well. Had a bit of a longer day work leading up to it, so ready to relax with some buds, hang out, and talk about Wild Hearthstone. Let's go.
Nice. Well, we've got a very special guest joining us tonight, and so I'm very happy to introduce multi-legendary Wild Hearthstone player, streamer, member of Team Wildside. Welcome to the show, Sundy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm also tired, like Electric Sheep City. I had my landlord wake me up early this morning.
Uh-oh.
That was fun. But other than that, I'm doing good. Just chilling. Just took it easy today, and
Can I ask why your landlord woke you up early this morning?
So they were gonna exhibit my property or my apartment to some people possibly leasing it, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna come by around 2:30." No, they came at 10 in the morning while I was sleep deprived, and I went to bed at 3.
Oof.
So that was I was not happy. I called him back. I literally wrote a sign on my door that says, "If you come before 2:30, I'm going to lose my mind." And they still came, and I'm like, "You're kidding me!" So I got to deal with that this morning.
Ouch.
They came 4 hours early. Like, okay, half an hour, whatever.
4.5 hours.
And a half hours early.
And they also said that they were also gonna have someone come at 2:30. Nope, they never came at 2:30. So I was like ready to go at 2:30 to see like for people. I stopped. I didn't cook anything. I was gonna start cooking, but nope. No one comes at 2:30.
Rude.
So
I just watched that Seinfeld episode where like the phone company's coming and it's like, we'll be here between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.
That's literally what happened to me. I'm like, God, just tell me you're not gonna show up or something, please.
Jeez.
I'm gonna have a talk with them tomorrow. It'll be fun.
Lovely.
Not for them, but for me.
I am still on the Seinfeld kick. I'm now in season 8. Like, I'll be done. Give me another 2 weeks and I'll be done with the whole thing. It's been great. Yeah, okay.
You got this. You're way ahead.
Yes. No soup for you. Hey, so Sundy, tell us a little bit about yourself, as much as or as little as you're willing to share, but can you tell us more about yourself? You know, what got you started playing Hearthstone? What is it about the Wild format that you like? Anything else really that you want to share?
Yeah, so I've been playing card games for a while now. I've been playing Magic since almost a decade now, and I'm 20. So I've been playing Magic since I was basically 10 years old. That's my main way to get into like kind of how I got into card games. I still play Magic to this day. I love that game. I also play Hearthstone. I started around, I want to say Goblins versus Gnomes. Started around there. I played like a little bit because like what buddy of mine was like, this is similar to Magic. You should try it. I tried it. Wasn't feeling it. So I dropped it. And then like whenever Gadgetzan came out, that's when I actually like started playing Hearthstone. Played off and on. I've taken several breaks. If you look at my Twitter, you'll see, oh, I'm going on a break for another month, and then 2 months later, oh, we're going on another break for another month. It's very consistent in how often I take my consistent breaks.
It's probably healthy.
It is. It's, and then I get back, and then within 2 days, I'm like, I already want to take another break. But that's Demon Seed stuff. Related to that. And then for Wild, I started actually playing more competitively around last year in like April-ish, whenever they did the whole MMR like change and everything like that, star bonuses, stuff like that, just made it so much easier to climb.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, I still played the Wild. I played it since it came out. Just kind of either doing casual or like rank 20 to 15, like messing around. Dead Man's Hand's always been my thing. That's if anyone knows me, that's my deck. I'm probably my favorite.
The Colt.
Yeah, the Colt does its own thing, you know. But I've been playing that deck. I've had it all golden since the deck came out. So I consistently keep it that.
I heard that if you play the deck correctly, there's a 100% win rate. Is that correct?
Not 100%. No, I'm garbage. It's more like 70%.
Are you just playing it wrong then?
It's matchups, man.
So
Get those good matchups.
I've lost to the deck enough times to become familiar with it, and I then heard that there was a Discord, specifically like the Dead Man's Hand Cult Discord, and I was like, oh, I need to see this. And so I got an invite to it, and I know that there's all these like class specific Discords, and I thought, oh, you know, there's going to be 50 people in here. There was like well over 500 people, and I was like, whoa, my God.
It's beyond 1,000.
Hey, Nate, just
I
a
think it's like
non-sequitur.
1,300 right now. Let me do a quick.
Yeah, Blutrane, what?
You've lost to Dead Man's Hand Warrior before. I'd like to just call out that I've lost to Boar Priest.
Boar Priest. Yeah, I think I've lost to that too.
I've won with Boar Priest.
Well, there you go. It goes to show you one can win with anything.
Hey.
Even Dead Man's Hand Warrior.
And anyone can win with anything.
You can win with anything, you know? Play with 30 legendary mage and probably get a win. It'll probably take about 20 losses to get there, but you're going to get a win. Pretty cool.
I bring it up from time to time, but I'll never forget the Concerned Mom's post, like, hit legend with 30 legendary card priest or whatever it was.
I think it was Warlock, but yeah.
Was it Warlock? Yeah.
Yeah.
100% win rate to legend.
That's kind of what I did with Dragon Rogue this season.
There you go.
Rogue or Legend. I went positive.
Hey.
Like, I think I went like 35 and 34, or like 25, 24. I went positive.
You know, the 11X has this beautiful ability to carry the Legend Road. So you, I think, have the ability to play decks that are, what would you say, fun as opposed to competitive.
Well, with my memeing right now, I'm not getting that back at this moment. I gotta actually climb and get it back, but
you'll get it. You'll get it. Okay, so what is Mind Goblin? Tell me about that.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, it's your fault. It's in your Twitter headline, but
you fell for the trap there.
Oh no.
You fell.
It's a trap.
Goblin D's nuts. Yep. You fell for it. But
wow.
It's actually, so that's the the team name for our TESPA team. Or it's called Hearthstone Collegiate Masters now. But yeah, I was just like, let's just do a D's nuts joke as our team name.
That's
unfortunately,
pretty good.
we're basically eliminated. We've had some really rough weeks. A lot of insane high rolls. I will tell you, yesterday we had lethal top decked against us in 2 of the 3 matches we lost, or 3 of the games we lost. The other game was like a giga unfavorable. We were never winning anyways, but like 2 of the games were like, oh cool, we'll get there next turn. They top deck and it's like, oh cool, you got aim shot on the top of the deck. Nice. Bottom right.
Yikes.
See, it's been a rough set, so we're probably just gonna meme it out. We're think 2 and 4 right now. It's not good.
I heard that Hearthstone TESPA was over, so I guess that's not the case then, huh?
It's they renamed it and rebadged
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think all the people who were like desperately searching for the Dollar and Flame card back were very sad when they announced that. But
you can still
Yes,
get it. It still exists. It's just now it's the same thing. It's just harder. So it used to be for TESPAs, it was split between 2 divisions. You had East and West. I go to Iowa State University. We play in West Division. I think West is anything like east of Illinois, essentially, or west of Illinois, I should say. East is east of Illinois. But yeah, it used to be 2 divisions, and it was about 60, 70-ish teams, depending. It was a lot easier to get it because you had to make top 32.
oh wow,
Yeah, so you had to make top 32. So it's just essentially like you're going 4 and 3 or 5 and 2.
to get the card back?
You just have to make top 32.
Wow.
We did that in our first season. We had a couple other my buddies. We got there. I actually was told I couldn't play last semester, since I wasn't actively attending. I took a semester off of school, and they're like, "No, you can't play," and I'm like, "Darn!" And then I looked at the rules that said you can play, and I'm like, "You sons of guns, tricked me." That team went 1 and 6, so I was really disappointed I couldn't be on that team.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, another team that's through our university won the whole thing though. Face Stone
Nice.
was a team that's affiliated with us and took it all the way. They're doing really good this season too. So yeah, that's the whole thing. Now it's all 1 division and it's like 180 teams. It's way bigger.
Wow.
Still got to make top 32, but instead of it being priced out, it's a qualifier for a league.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna do a whole league with a bunch of the top collegiate teams.
I wish that they were doing that when I was going to college. I would have eaten that up. I'm slightly sad, but oh well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Very cool. And so you're also a member of Team Wildside, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more about that? I know there's periodic meta reports and also they're the ones that host East versus West, right?
Yeah. So we do East versus West, or East versus or West versus CN. I should actually say it. Right?
I was gonna say, right? It's what was it? West
Yeah,
versus
so
China, or
West
however?
versus China. It's basically depending on how many people that CN gets and how many people we get. We do a big tournament. 16 of the best players out here in the West. That would be Asia, EU, and A. Get some of the best players here, and we get some of the best players. They do a big qualifier over in China because, spoiler alert, Wild in China is huge.
Oh
So
my
they
God! Yeah, there's like at the end of our season, what is there? 4,000 people or something, and I think over there it's 20 plus, right?
20K plus. One thing is they have like for the last one that we did. It's been a while since we did. They had an actual like in-client tournament thing for this over in China.
I'm so
Which
jealous.
I was so jealous. One of the people that help out with it, Lovely Duke, he tweeted it out. I'm like, why do we not get this? Excuse me. But no, those tournaments are a lot of fun. It's a great watch. Unfortunately, I don't know when we're gonna put on the next one. Everyone's kind of been busy. We're putting out our next report here I would assume this week. I haven't been able to work on it because I've been busy with a bunch of school and work. But
Oh yeah, no, that's how it goes, and it'll be interesting. I think we'll get into the news in a little bit, but we got the announcement of the mini set, and I know that always kind of plays havoc on the meta reports, though, and so.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Every time we like put out a meta report, something drastic changes, and it's like, I think the one before we went on a big hiatus, it was like 3 days later, some like big nerfs were announced. I'm like, dang.
So you're saying the mini set is going to have major impacts on the wild metagame? Am I reading the subtext
yes.
here?
Very,
All right.
Very. There's some cards.
Yeah, I'm
There
excited.
are
There are
cards.
some cards.
I'm excited to talk about them. And we haven't seen them all, but we get to see a handful, and so that'll be fun. Spoiler alert, we're not doing a full mini set card review tonight, but we'll definitely be talking about them. So Yeah, that'll be fun. What I have two other questions for you. I guess one, I'm curious about the Freddy Krueger that we see in your profile picture. Why Freddy? I mean, it's been like that for a long time, so it's not just Halloween.
I've had Freddy on as my profile picture for. I just like him. It's interesting. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight too.
Okay.
If you guys don't know. Do you guys know what Dead by Daylight is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for chat or people that don't know, Dead by Daylight is a 4 versus 1 asymmetrical horror killer game where one killer faces off against 4 survivors. Freddy is one of my favorite killers in that game to play too. So besides liking the franchise, I play Freddy as one of my mains for that game too. So.
Nice.
Why he's my profile picture.
Very good. I think when NHL fan / Marty B did the
the Seattle Kraken's logo.
He did the what is it, the chaotic good neutral evil whatever thing not too long ago. You ended up in one of the bottom corners, I believe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What was it, Blutrane? Do you remember? It was a chaotic
evil, but I think you were chaotic something. Hang on, I let me pull it up and I can send you the link if you want to throw it on the screen, Nate.
Oh yes, I will.
A pretty fun post.
That was beautiful. Okay, while you're looking for it,
the hero power one.
All right, Sundy, where's your username come from? I see Sundy, I see Matsund. What is
It's a play
that?
on my name. So my original in-game name was for like when I was like young as hell. I'm talking like 10, 9. It was Derpachus because I thought Derp was funny, and I thought Pikachu was pretty cool. It remains to be my Reddit name. And then I think I changed it around 2015-ish to Matsund, or Sundy for short. Sundy's just easier to type, which is a play on my name. So
nice.
Obviously Matt, and then I'm not going to say my last name because I don't need to dox myself here, but you can get the point.
Hey, no, it's
social evil. That's about right. You are evil, but in a sociable kind of way.
I'm funny, and I also lose my mind at the children's card game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't we all?
You're in the evil category. This is the definitive morality chart for Wild Hearthstone streamers. So there you go. You earned a spot.
Hey, that's pretty good, right? I was surprised we ended up on it.
You guys are a wild institution, Nate.
Lawful, neutral.
With me on it, we're probably going to social impure or lawful impure. So we might need to get something changed.
Drop a couple notches.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm not gonna swing the balance either way, being true neutral. I'm like the free space.
Neutral, we're social impure on this podcast today, then.
Yeah, I'm the free space on the bingo card.
It sounds about right. Oh dear.
They couldn't find people, so they're like, "We're gonna put you on there because we couldn't find anyone else." I was like, "All right, I'll take it."
Hey.
Made it. The technicality is a technicality. So there you go.
I don't know. I've seen you stream more in the last month or two than you have in quite a while. So
Goes in spurts.
Always enjoy the Blutrane stream. It's nice having the ability to kind of stream at will, not have a schedule, and not really care one way or the other. From personal experience, that's my style. But very good. Yes, this is a fun thing. So tonight we are hanging out with the embodiment of social evil, Sundy. Very good. All right, well, let me move along. There's a lot of news to cover this week, and so I want to kind of switch gears a little bit. Typically, Hydralisk would do this part, but he is not here, so I will do it. And really, we just take a couple of minutes to kind of say hello and check in and talk about our weeks, kind of outside of Hearthstone. And so I will go first. I'll try to make it brief, though. So it has been kind of a long week for me. we were talking a little bit about it last week. So I have been in and out of the doctors. I've been diagnosed with what's called a bilateral hernia, which means I've got two tears, a large one on the right side, a smaller one on the left side of my like lower abdomen groin area. It is very painful. It sucks quite a bit. And so I have been kind of dealing with that. I had my meeting with the surgeon this morning, who is pretty cool. As it turns out, I get to have robotic surgery, which will be interesting.
Not laparoscopic, robotic.
Yes.
Interesting.
He's specializes in robotic. And he said that the location and the precision, he said it's better, but that's his specialty. He said he's done 1,000 of them. And so, yeah, that's the good news. And so I'm looking forward to a great surgeon, and should be pretty interesting. The recovery is going to kind of suck, but anyways, the bad news is that I have to wait about a month to get the surgery. I just got off the phone with them. So my day for surgery is Friday, the 26th of November, which is the day after Thanksgiving here in the US. And so it's going to be a kind of bittersweet Thanksgiving where it's like, all right, you got to stop eating at whatever time it is and prep for surgery the next day.
Oh no.
But I'm anxious to get it done because it's painful. And so until I get it done, I'm kind of like the joke is that I'm a little testy. So anyways, I'm doing okay. In terms of media, everyone kept telling me watch Squid Game. So I watched it. I watched it last week. I kind of binged it, and I thought it was pretty good actually. I enjoyed it. I kept hearing it was like so violent, and like I didn't really think so. I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was well done, and now I'm kind of struggling with like, all right, what do I watch next? I started Alice in Borderland, which some people had kind of compared to it, and I'm about 2 episodes in, and it's similar-ish kind of. I'm like losing interest a little bit, but it's interesting, and it's not very long. I probably will just power through it. Yeah. I'm kind of at the end of book 3 of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, and I'm really enjoying that. And people keep telling me to watch Dune. And
What are you doing if you haven't watched it yet?
what are you doing? I have heard so many good things. I unfortunately is not available for our Canadian friends because their version of HBO Go sucks. What my problem has been, like I started it at like 10:30 at night, and the dishwasher was going, and I just could not hear it for the life of me, and then I kind of fell asleep about half an hour in. And so I will be restarting it. I'll watch it this weekend. But I'm looking forward to it. I hear good things, and the cast is great. And so yeah, kind of excited to check that out. My HBO Go expires like the 1st of November, and so I'm debating about whether or not to renew it. But
Renew it for the Dune.
For the Dune. Well,
Curb Your Enthusiasm just started a new season. If you like Seinfeld, like Curb is like the spiritual successor of it. I'd even argue it's more Seinfeld than Seinfeld.
Is it
so?
Is it good? Like I've never watched it before, but like
I mean,
it's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Oh, we'll talk after, but yes, if you enjoyed Seinfeld, you will enjoy Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's the same style of humor, but it's a lot more cringy, but in a good way.
Okay.
You should check it out. If anything, you should. There's a lot of seasons of it, and you have the whole run of it on HBO
nice.
Go for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it then, because I know Larry David produced Seinfeld, right, or co-wrote it with Jerry Seinfeld, and so he's the star, right, of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the lead writer
loosely, but
yeah,
yes, he is, and he's so funny.
We will not curb your enthusiasm to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So my big purchase for the last week was a Lazy Boy recliner, because like my abdomen area is like all messed up and painful, and like sleeping has been super uncomfortable. And so my lovely wife had suggested, like, why don't we go buy a recliner, and you can sit in it or you can sleep in it if you want. And so we went down to Lazy Boy and got one, and
Nice.
I've spent a bunch of time. That's basically what I've done all week, is gone to work, got home, sat in the recliner all night, play Mercenaries and watch TV on the iPad and pass out. So
You live in life.
right, that's my jam right now, but I'm in good spirits. I pulled a Diamond Illidan last night, which is
Nice.
very pretty. The card.
Oh, the bad one, the bad card in Diamond.
Yeah, exactly. It might be good
Talk
one of
about
these
it
days.
feels
But
bad.
yeah, I was really irritated because in 60 packs, I was at 59 packs, and I had pulled one golden skin out of 59 packs. I opened this guy in pack 60.
Well, at least you got something.
If I didn't, I would have been super pissed. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's someone on the other end like messing with me, and then it spurred me to go. Like, I went online and I went to the BattleNet website, and I clicked on the Mercenaries packs, and then I read all the legal language for the pull rates, and like, it's just bad. It's really bad. We'll get to it in a minute, but my hope is that, one of these days the cards will be better. I just never know. I actually lost last night to a comp that was running Kurtrus, who attacked, was invincible, right? Took 0 damage and just killed my dudes. So maybe someday it will be a thing. I don't know. Anyways, that's me. I'm living the dream over here. Sheep, how about you? I hope you're doing better than me. How's it going?
Yeah, doing a little better than you. Not to rub it in.
How's your feet though? I know that you were really, in a lot of pain with your
Yeah. So my hoof, I've got an anti-inflammatory. Been taking that thing for the plantar fasciitis. It doesn't hurt as much as it used to. Now that I'm kind of like on that little regimen and doing all the stretches that I'm supposed to and all that stuff. But it's, I'm like, a week or so into that? I guess 2 weeks at this point. Now that it's Friday. Gosh, this week has flown by. So we'll see whenever it gets to the point of whether I go back and get the shot. If I was making the determination right now, it'd be like, yep, shoot it right now, right into the foot.
Yeah,
But we'll see. It doesn't hurt as much as it used to, so it's at the very least getting a little bit better. So we shall see. Worst comes to worst, they'll shoot it, and then I'll have all of these strategies to keep it from getting out of control again later. That's the goal. And, if I don't end up needing the shot, then that'll be good too. But I think I'll probably end up needing it. Aside from that, general like health check-in thing, I've worked a lot. Like tonight, we had a digital like work event thing. So I literally left work, came home, changed clothes, sat down, and within like 5-10 minutes, it was like time to jump on the call, and it was like, all right.
Wow. Yeah, it's busy. It gets busy sometimes.
It does. That's, it feels all right because definitely not bored, but it's been a lot of working. And whenever I haven't been working, I've been playing some Mercenaries.
I was going to say, I think you may have the like NA record for something over there.
I think that I might. So I on Monday on my lunch break, I finished maxing out all of my Mercenaries, and I wasn't the first person to do it, period, but I was the first person that I've seen from NA that did that. So that felt pretty cool. Got my fancy spreadsheet, like got some traction on there. So like it's feeling pretty good with the Mercenaries, like a collection building, even if I'm still learning PvP.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm going to interrupt you for 2 seconds to humble
You're good.
brag on your behalf because you're too nice to do it. But Sheep got a big shout out from Sottle about the spreadsheet that eBay using to track all the mercenaries and the level ups and the equipment and all that stuff, and that was super cool too. So yeah, congrats. That was very nice.
Thanks. Yeah, it
Don't worry.
did feel pretty good.
Don't
Sorry,
worry,
what's
got
that?
another few mercenaries as well to max out here.
Yeah,
Coming
pretty soon,
soon.
pretty
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, I'll get to add 5
Get
to
your
it
wallet
and
ready.
get back to the grind.
The question is how many packs you're gonna have to open to get these 5 mercenaries. Don't.
Well,
And their portraits.
yeah, that's true. I don't have all their portraits. I will say that much. And that's the only maxing out that I haven't done is all of the portraits because that'd be a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have a
there's-
diamond Illidan, for example.
I don't think you really need a diamond Illidan. I certainly don't.
Yeah. I don't
Anyways,
think you need. You want.
I don't even think you want it. Yeah, it's
I don't want an Illidan. Period. End of story. Move on.
This is true.
Yeah, so that's been about my week. Working Mercs. I feel like I said that last week, but it's been a little bit heavier on the work side this time because I did a lot of the Mercs last week. So grinding, having fun. Did a co-op with Hat on Tuesday,
Oh, fun.
and with Nate last night, doing Merc stuff. It's just a lot of fun. Just working Mercs.
very good,
So-
very good.
That's been the week here in the city of Electric Sheep. Sundy, how has your week been, friend?
It's been busy. Very busy. I know about you, old cats, but I'm still in school, so I had a big accounting project I had to finish up this week. I had some business administration classes to take care of. I had a couple projects for those to work on. Last week was my exam week. To finishing up all my exams, I had 2 more last week I had to finish up, so that's all done. So I can actually kind of chill out now. Then I was like, oh, you got a project to finish up here.
Oh, it feels good to
darn it.
finish. Yeah.
But yeah,
You
I-
weren't accounting for that project coming up, were you?
Thanks, guys, for tuning in for Born to Be Wild.
But
But yeah, that project I finished it up with some people. So that's done for now. I got the 4th part soon. I don't want to do it, but I have to. Other than that, doing work every kind of other day-ish. Just going in and chilling with people. And then in terms of games, Hearthstone, I actually haven't been playing too much, at least this week. Well, the event for Dead by Daylight, the Halloween one came out, so I've been playing a lot of Dead by
Nice.
Daylight again. Doing a lot of that, but hopping on Hearthstone every once in a while to dumpster my rank with bad decks. So that's been fun.
excellent. Yeah, I mean, hey, the month is about to reset, and so we can all play again, I guess.
Yeah, I can't wait to play, get day 1 or day 2 legend, and then sit around and tank my rank for another 29 days.
Pretty much, that's what I have been doing.
As is tradition.
Oh man, very good. Blutrane, what about you? How you been?
Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a long week. Nate, like you, I'm having some stomach issues and had some medical procedures on Monday to kind of see what's up. And going to be starting on some new medication and try to get that under control. I've been medication free now for my condition for about a year because those might remember I was on chemo last year because of my eyes, which was bad, but had a nice secondary effect of solving all my autoimmune problems because, well, it nukes your immune system, right? Now my immune system's coming back and it's ready to attack figuratively and quite literally. So it's been a bit rough. For those who say we have free healthcare in Canada, this medication is going to cost me the low price of $5,000 a month. So we have free healthcare in Canada except pharma, dental, and a bunch of other ancillaries. It's going to be heavily subsidized by my insurance, so it's not going to take me to the poorhouse. But that's been on the health side. So if I seem a little bit slouchy, it's because, like Nate, abdominal area is a little tender. Video game wise, been throttling back on the Mercenaries a little bit. Went at it super hard, although not as hard as Sheep, evidently. But kind of lost some enthusiasm. We'll talk a little bit why. I still played a little bit of Mercenaries. Been playing Metroid Dread. 100%ed that game a week after it came out. But I picked it up again. You unlock hard when you beat it. And I'm almost finished my hard run, but I kind of getting the bug of trying to beat the game on hard in under 5 hours. Because I think you get like more unlockables if you do that.
Ooh, wow.
But
Okay.
the whole point is to try and beat the game as quickly as possible, right? So, yeah, it's a wonderful, it's a very challenging game, but it's a wonderful one. I've been waiting for a new Metroid for a long time. Probably the last one I played that I really enjoyed was Fusion 20 odd years ago. So yeah. And been playing a little bit of Runeterra also. I mess around with it on the times when I need a little break from Hearthstone. It's a fine game, very free to play friendly. But you know, got new cards out next week, new Mercenaries. Just kind of some mixed feelings about that, but still interested in kind of consuming the new content. So hopefully this little lull will ensure my enthusiasm is rewarded with some good times next week.
Yeah. I think El Tino had called us like the sick old people club or something like that.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Or is he
man,
would call us
yeah.
like
Phrased it nicer than that.
That's
but-
what he
You
said.
want me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can call you guys that too as well. I'm out of this party.
Maybe
For the
those
sick
those
old people.
statements
I
are
am
true.
sick with allergies, but I am not an old people, so I'm.
I
do
wasn't
the
gonna
young,
say
sick
anything,
people's club.
but you know, y'all shared, so I figured I would too.
No, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. Hey, you know what? This stuff happens as you age. Enjoy it while it lasts, young whippersnapper.
I will try.
Oh dear.
I gotta do immunotherapy for allergies. Try to get those kicked out. So that's been my fun for the past couple of years.
Oh. Yeah, it's
Been
rough,
there.
especially in the Midwest, right?
Allergies galore. And
Yeah.
of course I moved to more like, I guess like the town I'm in now is surrounded by more rural things, and there's a lot more corn and a lot more plant things. And spoiler alert, that messes with your allergies big time. You know.
I want to dox you, Sundy, but like I've visited where you are extensively over the years, and it is probably one of the most sparsely populated places in North America. So it doesn't.
It's not South Dakota. I'll tell you. If you've ever been to South
I
Dakota,
didn't say the most. I said one of the most. But
True.
yeah, everything being relative, of course.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, it's good to catch up with everybody. Sheep, do you mind giving us a real quick update of what's happening in the listener series?
Do I ever? So, the listener series, the finals were last week. It was an epic match between Jordan and Cybergamer, with Jordan taking the win, claiming victory, and winning season 3 of the Born to Be Wild listener series. Congratulations, Jordan!
Yes,
And-
very nice, very nice.
I just want to plug something for Jordan really quick. Most of you may not know that Jordan has a wonderful YouTube channel that you should all subscribe to. Just search for Jordan MG on YouTube. Here, I'll put the link in the chat. And he does content that's very unique. It's kind of almost like the lighter side of the Wild Hearthstone community, and there's some really great stuff on there, and I think y'all should check it out.
Oh, definitely. I agree 100%. Jordan's videos are always that like really funny. agree. I spent some time with him when I was editing the podcast, and he was editing one of his YouTube videos, and he spends a lot of time, and you can really tell. And they're humorous. They're just great. I mean, I know there's a lot of content on YouTube, but I agree. Jordan's is wonderful. So check it out, and we'll put I'll put the link in our show notes as well.
Yeah, Jordan's YouTube is incredible. Not only does he put out amazing, highly hilarious, just non-listener series content, but while he was in the listener series, he also released a video every week going over his listeners series match, depending on exactly when it came out, whether it was featured or not, went into different aspects of it. It's a really, really fun to watch for that. But also the other things, like we did a cute card,
The tier list, yeah.
tier list, which was so much fun to do. That was with Jordan and on his YouTube channel. So definitely can't speak highly enough of his channel for sure.
Oh my god, the one that they did with Goku and Ben from work
That
was so funny. It was great. It was great, and a lot of characters. Very, very true.
Yeah, Jordan's a great guy. He's actually one of our team members for our THL team. Everyone's a winner. He's been doing awesome for that. I'm happy to see him win listener series. He's come a long way as a player.
Oh, definitely.
And he was kind of starting around, and now he's a consistent top 200 player. I mean, he plays for probably one of the best, and I will say the best THL team.
Nice.
Wild. But yeah, I'm happy to have him as a teammate, as a good friend, and beating him in fantasy, hopefully this season. I lost him already. I need to beat him and to make our season 1-1.
So, congratulations, Jordan. We can't speak highly enough of you, obviously, clearly, as we were just waxing poetic, singing your praises. Well-earned victory in the listener series, and perhaps a well-earned victory in fantasy football over Sunday here shortly.
Good luck. Shots fired. See what happens.
So that is the conclusion of season 3 of our listener series. So stay tuned for details about season 4 at a later date, TBD. So stay tuned for that. And that is what's going on, what went down for the listeners series. I heard that we had a little bit of news in the wider Hearthstone world outside of our listeners series, though, Nate. What's been going on in the news?
Oh my goodness, there's lots of stuff. And so some of it I think I'll cover fairly quickly, but wanting to keep everybody up to speed, and some of it we'll talk more in depth. So starting off quickly, just a brief update on BlizzCon, or what has recently been BlizzConline. It's been canceled for this year, so it's not happening.
Blizz canceled.
Yeah. They said that they would still do, reveals for all of their IPs and stuff happening around the same time, and so I'm sure we'll get content updates for Hearthstone and Diablo and whatever else. So we'll see, but I'm not super surprised between all the various lawsuits that are happening right now. And I had heard that they had fired 25 or something like higher up execs in Blizzard, and I know there's a lot that they're trying to do to kind of clean house. And so not to mention there's still kind of a pandemic happening, and so just a lot going on, and I'm not real surprised by this news at all. I mean, I used to really enjoy it for getting the content updates. What I used to really love back in the day is when they would do the Hearthstone World Championships or whatever they were called at BlizzCon, and that was great. And then when they kind of moved to not doing that anymore, it took a lot of the fun out of it for me. But anyways, it's not happening. So
yeah, no surprises there at all. With all the stuff going on, it's just.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the show notes, but kind of just another kind of Blizzard meta thing. Bobby Kotick is taking a huge pay cut.
I read
to
that.
the lowest minimum. And additionally, a lot of times, so for those of you who are starting work and your leaders are like, we're taking a pay cut, or we're not giving ourselves a raise, it's usually BS, because they're still going to get those fat bonuses that are based on performance, he's not getting any bonuses either. I read that this is a cynical ploy to stop or to try and stop employees from unionizing. I don't really know anything about that or if that's even true, so full disclosure. But that is pretty, whether it's done out of altruism or for PR or because they're having a tough year or all the above, it's kind of unprecedented, so it's worthy of mentioning. I'm like the morality chart. I'm kind of neutral on it, but I thought that was pretty big news.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shout out.
I saw that as well. I don't think. I mean, it's sort of a. I don't know what I would call it. A good faith showing on his part. I know that there was a lot of concern because Activision Blizzard employees had been requesting these certain things from their employer that were not recognized for quite a bit, and I think they finally have been this week, at least recognized. I don't know, I haven't really dug too far into the employment side of things, but I know that a lot of people were unhappy, and this is sort of at least we see some wheels turning. I mean, I don't have a ton of information on it. I do agree with what Blutrane said, and I had read that as well, that not only, is he taking the pay cut, but also no bonuses. That being said, he's like filthy rich, so how much difference does it make? I don't really know. But
I mean, if there's one thing I've learned, it doesn't matter how rich you are, you always could use more, right? So I mean,
that's true.
Not that makes it okay or whatever, but I mean, it's nobody wants to take a pay cut,
No. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think that at least the optics are good. I'm just curious to see kind of what the follow through is.
Are they good though? I don't know. It might be like an attempt to try and hold on to his position. One of my favorite memes is the joke that every time there's a new bundle released, especially with some of the ones we've seen lately, it's so that Bobby Kotick can get a new yacht. Gentlemen, Bobby Kotick will not be getting his yacht this year. No yacht for you.
No yacht for you.
That's funny.
No, I mean, I made the same joke, right? It was like the timing was like, I don't know. I'm cynical, right? Because I work in the criminal justice field, and I've been at it for many years now, and so I'm kind of an old, jaded, cynical, salty dog when it comes to things like this. And so when I see it, on the same day Blizzard getting named in this giant lawsuit and 3 golden bundles drop in the store, or what was it, and then Blizzard reaches settlement for X number of $1 million and there's 3 more bundles, it's like, oh, so we're paying for it. I see how it is.
Well, I mean, they are a public company. They have targets to hit, and I mean, I'd say that if the money saved from canceling BlizzCon and the pay cut from the CEO is going to save jobs that otherwise would have to be shed to meet those financial targets, then sure. I mean, but we don't have that knowledge. But oftentimes, those costs will be recouped somewhere.
Yeah.
So better this, I suppose, than the rank and file employee that's working hard, that might have even been victim to some of this stuff, and then gets laid off to no fault of their own. So, I mean, it's kind of a bittersweet thing, but again, it is pretty unprecedented. So I mean, it's something to watch there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, and I maybe I shouldn't be joking so much about this stuff. I mean, ideally, we are very much, want to see the employees succeed and victims be heard and changes made for the better in the company. So, that's all joking aside. It's a pretty serious matter, and so I hope that they're able to make things better and resolve what needs to be resolved. So.
Well said.
Yep.
Anyways, moving right along, there is the free Guff skin this week for anybody who plays Battlegrounds. You got to log in and get it. So last week was the free Pirate Garrosh. This week is free Guff, Stormwind Guard Guff.
Awesome free cosmetics, by the way. These were some of the best ones they've released. Pirate Garrosh was sick. This Guff is sick. It's always nice to get free stuff. This is great.
Oh, I agree 100%. I would have paid for both of those, so I like that.
I would have paid for Pirate Garage.
Garage, yeah.
Right? So the new thing, right? It's got to be to play like Pirate Garage as Deadman's Hand or Pirate Garage as Odd Warrior.
I do it as Arena Warrior and Deadman's Hand. I always keep the far left card to trick my opponents. It's worked. They mull for Pirate Warrior. I had and then I switched to Pirate Warrior. I faced Ben from work. I went to Pirate Warrior, same portrait, and he mulled for Deadman's Hand. So he looked for all of his greed and late game stuff, and I go turn 1 quest, coin, first mate, brigand, and I'm like, good morning, hello.
Never take the greedy line.
And
this
then
is slander and libel, and I will not stand for it.
He mulled for Deadman's Hand.
Yeah, I know. I watched it. I saw the game.
I made him fall for the bait. It worked. So yeah, if you ever see me on ladder with Pirate Garage, you're not gonna know which one it is. You will not know if I'm on Deadman's Hand. You're not gonna know if I'm on Reno Warrior. You're not gonna know if I'm on Pirate Warrior. I play all 3 about the same.
So here's the trick. Always mull for Pirate Warrior because the other 2 decks are bad.
No. You're full of it. You're full of it, Blutrane.
Well done. You didn't curse. I'm proud of you, Sundy. And I baited you hard. You probably will because I'm bad. But
I'm bad too as well. I'm just less bad with Reno Warrior. I play Deadman's Hand. I have a really good win rate, I swear.
That's great. For those Battlegrounds players interested in cosmetics, there's another bundle, the Hollow's End bundle. So there's a new Innkeeper. It's Medivh, which seems like a great Innkeeper to me. I usually play with the sound off, so I bought this, but I have no idea what he says. And then a bunch of other portraits. Price point is $20, so you get 7 portraits plus Medivh, the bartender, for $20 US. That's like $350 Canadian, something like that.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Hey, the Canadian exchange rate seems like it's getting better. Nice.
Oh, speaking of which, right? That was pretty funny. Really. All right, we'll get there in a second. So the big news this week is that they announced the Mini-Set. This was just announced, so it's based on the Deadmines. So big congrats to Goliath the Dwarf, who called it back when we did the lore episode way back when. So not surprised, but very happy about that. It should be fun. The release date is this coming Tuesday, which is November the 2nd. So far we've seen a handful of cards come out. We will talk about them in a couple of minutes. We were told that all of the cards will be revealed to us by Monday the 1st, so the day before. This update is coming out on Tuesday. Also included in this update are a couple of things. The mini set. It's 35 new cards, 4 legendaries, 1 epic, 12 rare, 16 commons. The price point, like last time, is $14.99 US. Or you can buy it with gold, 2,000 gold. Yeah. I'm actually curious, legitimate question here, because we have listeners, of course, our friends in Canada, but all across the world. So if I know the price point will be different on your end, right? So $15 US is, what is it, probably 20, 25 on your end. But is the gold the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same gold. It'll probably be, if it's $15 in the US, it'll probably be $19.99 in Canada.
Okay.
But it'll be 2,000 gold. That doesn't change.
Gotcha.
I don't. So I've never bought a mini set for gold or cash. I actually don't think it's worth. I just craft what I want. Although maybe, given the power level of what we've seen, maybe this time may be the exception. This certainly seems to be. I thought Races at the Dark Moon Fair was like pushing the envelope. This mini set's gonna be. I mean, it'll be interesting to see the impact on Wild, but definitely the cards in a vacuum are compelling.
Yeah.
Are compelling.
We only saw the commons and the rares. Too.
I know.
We still
Yeah.
haven't even seen the epic. We still haven't seen the 4 legendaries.
And they were, I mean, both. Like there were things in there that
There's some-
well, we'll get to it.
There's some
We've been
stupid-
foreshadowing this hard, but yeah.
Spoiler
Right.
alert! I think some of the commons, a lot of the commons are better than the rares. Like as a
Yeah.
There's
piece,
some
I
good
think
stuff, yeah.
The commons are better than the rares. I think if they switched rarity on them, I think it makes some sense on some of those cards. But yeah, there's some really bonkers cards,
Yeah.
like insane.
Well, and the meta's been so stale that just having something new will be interesting, if nothing else. So, anyhow, a couple of other things coming out at the same time in this patch. So, there are going to be new mercenaries. There's 5 new mercenaries. We'll talk about in just a second. There's a new minion type. So, they're introducing the pirate tribe, if you want to call it that. Also, there's going to be 3 new bounties / bosses. They're going to add them to the tail end of Blackrock Mountain. So that's cute. I think that the bad part is, and I'm quoting here, they said the new mercenary cards, portraits, and coins can be obtained through mercenary packs, similar to how the mini-set cards are added to their expansion's existing packs. I hate this idea because
Yeah.
as somebody
It upsets me.
Yeah, for those of us who kind of went all in early on, like the pull rates are like atrociously low, and then trying to open a bunch of packs to farm these 5 new mercenaries and their skins, it's gonna be absurd. So
Someone mentioned, well, it's just like regular Hearthstone. So why does that not upset you, but this does? And the answer is simple. The way that Mercenaries functions is you open packs and you get character-specific coins. Now, for those of us who've gone really hard, we've maxed out a lot of our mercenaries and we keep getting coins for those mercenaries. Like I think I'm sitting on several thousand Karen coins over and above my maxed out Karen. When the new mercenaries come out, Dust in regular Hearthstone, which is universal, you can craft those cards with your extra resources, but you cannot do that in mercenaries. So if someone has spent $1,000 on packs, yes, there are some who have, they're going to be starting from the same baseline as someone who's just starting the game out. There's nothing that transitions over. And so that is a very costly proposition. And I don't know if that was intended or an oversight, but the fact that there's no way that you can acquire those new characters as an aside is very disappointing.
yeah,
And the game mode itself, I think it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a dream come true. It's like if Pokemon and Hearthstone had a love child. But despite the fun that I've had with the format, it really seems that those that are making the business decisions behind the management and the curation of the format are hell-bent on pushing me away. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. It has been suggested, Nate, that we should be patient, as there are going to be actions taken to close the gap for those of us who are heavily invested in the format but don't have, a direct path to getting those mercenaries, but we'll see.
Yeah.
The jury's out. Ball's in your court. I want the game mode to be successful. So please, if anyone's listening, I'm rooting for you, genuinely. But I think that there's a lot of goodwill that needs to be regained. Confidence is shaky right now, and I just, we knew mercenaries were going to come. It's just unfortunate that I'm probably not going to be acquiring any of these, at least going out of my way to acquire them, until I see some of these offerings that will help me close the gap.
yeah.
So kind of yes and that. You were saying that, it's that other people were saying that it's like regular Hearthstone, and that the mini set comes out and it's included in the regular packs, right? Well, one of the options that we have with the mini set is to spend $15 and get the whole mini set, or spend 2,000 gold and get the whole mini set. With the new drops of the new 5 mercenaries, we don't have that option, right? It's only buy the same packs that we already got and still get the same, other mercenary specific coins that we already have. Some of us, like me, have already maxed out all the other characters, so they're just like sitting there, not able to do anything. And I know they've said that we'll be able to do something with our excess coins later, but until then, I'm just sitting on a hoard of coins, right?
Yeah.
So like whenever I've been earning mercenaries packs, for progressing up the PvP ladder or getting further down my task list, as soon as the announcement came out that that's how those were going to, be, I'm just sitting on them now, right? Like I'm not opening them. And I was I was, after I had a full collection of the actual mercenaries themselves, I was still dumping like gold into mercenaries packs because I wanted the different portraits, or right then I was still collecting coins to continue to max out my mercenaries. Right then, so I was still investing even more heavily in that, and now I'm just like holding on to it rather than engaging with it, which I don't think is as intended either, right? So to kind of yes and what you were saying earlier about the economy of it being a little wonky. One of the things that constructed, both standard and wild, right, has going for it really well with the release of the different mini sets is we can buy that individually, plop down the money or gold, and get the whole thing right there. We don't have to worry about opening it in the packs, even though they're now included there. And we haven't seen that for mercenaries yet. And will we? I don't know. Like, I hope so. I hope that's one of the kind of iterations that they do, but
I hope so. And the economy, the whole thing of it, I mean, I've kind of rage posted on Twitter a couple of times this week. I sort of feel slightly bad about it, but I'm not very active on Twitter unless I'm complaining about something these days.
Well, that's Twitter.
Blame it on my hernias, but I really resonated with this Twitter kind of post here by Capilano, who coincidentally is an incredible Hearthstone player, was very active in Wild for a long time. Anyways, so here's what he says. It's great that they're adding new mercenaries, but there's no other change to the currency system? ? I have every merc maxed with a lot of wasted coins, even on legendary, because I paid and played a lot. Am I just supposed to not play this mode until they add more mercs? And then the follow-up comments were, also to get new mercs, I have to buy packs, but 90% of the packs will actually give me 0 value because I maxed all my mercs and the coins are just wasted. And then he said, Ixar and Deck Tech, I know that you guys are not in charge of this, but I have no idea who else to tag. The system just sounds very wrong to me. I got punished for buying packs and playing a lot. There has to be something to compensate. And I totally agree. So essentially, right, people who rushed to get all the mercs, level them up, unlock the equipment, are essentially getting punished because, you buy these packs and now we're getting coins for maxed out mercs because they're...
It's almost like everyone's been punished, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people who are on the free-to-play or budget side, they felt punished because, well, changes were made to slow down the grind, the progression. Especially, like, I viewed it as slowing everyone down because you need to grind tasks to get equipment, but I didn't actually see the equation of how nerfing the Heroic 2 Air Elemental track made the game potentially more expensive for people who are trying to invest minimal money, because grinding character tasks was the most efficient way to get coins, which we had a lot of because, we're a bunch of shamus and had a bunch of packs. So that was punishment. And then, of course, people found a new way to get coins through this elaborate win trading kind of scheme with, like, different color portraits. I won't get into it. Don't win trade. And I don't condone it, but it is a symptom to a larger problem that people beyond the usual kind of scumbags that do this. Like it was hitting critical mass because people need to find loopholes to keep up with the game system without dropping a boatload of money, and those things were patched immediately. And then for those who are invested, now it seems that it's a lot of knee-jerk decisions that kind of punish everyone, whether you're heavily invested like we are, or whether you're trying to be more free to play like Ben from work or NHL were. And everyone kind of, no matter where you are on the spectrum, we're all kind of grumbling about it. And we're on week 3? It's not a great place to be. And again, I genuinely like the PvP. Like a lot of people are saying the game is, like a 10. I don't think so. The PvP, especially at high level, is very nuanced and skill testing, and most importantly, fun. But the barrier to entry is so high, and all these things that have been done have just, for me, I'll never quit something and say I'm done. I reserve the right to be a hypocrite and come back, but it has sapped some of my initial enthusiasm, and I'm hopeful that in the coming weeks they'll do some things to reverse those trends. If not, I mean, I don't want to be melodramatic here, but I genuinely am fearful for the game mode, right? Because the big spenders are not incentivized to spend, and we need a critical mass of people playing the game so that you can get an opponent when you queue, and so these prospects are looking bleaker than they should when you're still in the honeymoon launch phase. It almost feels like we didn't get a honeymoon phase with this game.
Well, yeah,
we didn't. Sheep did, but I'm kidding. It was much shorter than I think I would have liked. And I get that they're monetizing this, and they need to preserve their investment, but it shouldn't come at the experience of the customer, or the player, or whatever you want to call them, or her, or them, and that's what's happened. So I'm trying to be balanced here. But it has turned me off a little bit, and breaks are good, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what counterbalance is put into place for this, and hopefully it'll salvage things.
I hope so. Like, I love the idea of the mode. What's crazy to me is that, like, I've opened 300 plus packs at this point probably, and I'm still missing a whole mess of portraits, and it's like and that's with duplicate protection, right? Which is just absurd to me. And so I want to briefly share this interaction that I had with a Blizzard employee last night, and I don't want to name names because I don't want to incentivize my poor behavior, but I was irritated, right? I bought a bunch of packs, and so here I'm just going to read this quickly. And so, because I think it's got some news maybe about some kind of future content. So here's, this is what I said, and I tried to be polite, but I was kind of upset when I wrote it. It says, can I ask a question? I feel like the drop rate for skins in Mercs is really low. I just opened 60 packs and pulled 2 skins. Granted, they were good ones, a golden Jiraxis and a diamond Illidan, but I'm missing quite a few other golden skins. I read the official drop rates and I get it, but trying to obtain a full collection feels very difficult and very expensive. I know there's nothing to be done about it, but if you'd be willing to pass along the feedback, it would be appreciated. I don't mean to dump on you. I'm sorry. The response I got was...
That's a very, very nicely put upset reaching out, by the way.
Well,
just
that's
provide reassurance there.
I'm trying to not get blacklisted because I want free packs to give away to people later.
It was in good taste. I mean, it's clear that you were frustrated, but you maintained the boundaries of respectability and good taste, in my view at least. Obviously, everyone's different, and hopefully it was received in the spirit that it was given.
I try very hard to not burn bridges. I will say that.
That's you, Nate. Burning bridges, taking names, just...
That sounds like Nate all over, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're better than me. I'll give you that. You're better than me when it comes to interacting and commenting and adding devs on Twitter.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna.
You behave better than I do when it comes to big changes.
I thought I was gonna have to bleep you a few times already, and you've been really good. I'm proud of you.
He's on his best behavior
I don't
tonight.
play a lot of Mercs, so I don't have a lot to comment on this. I will say, however, though, I think a lot of this stuff comes like you're punishing both player base. You're punishing the person that you're punishing a lot of people. Like the person that doesn't play a lot, you're gonna now get more Mercs and stuff. It's gonna be harder for them to find the Mercs that they want to unlock.
Yeah.
Like if they didn't start day one grinding and opening a billion packs and stuff like that. You're also punishing the people that don't pay a lot, the free-to-play players that are looking to get this stuff. Now they're getting whatever packs they can. Guess what? They're not opening the legendary they want. They're gonna get coins and stuff for the stuff they've already maxed out with max tests and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense, and I think it's
And
really...
to just add to that, for those who are thinking, well, that's your perception that players are being punished. To that I say, well, it doesn't really matter if that's reality or perception. The perception is the reality. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I would say that perception has passed a critical mass. You're always going to have detractors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're always going to have people with lower or poor engagement. Cough me. But I think that this has kind of reached a place where, fair, unfair, or otherwise, I think that we're all kind of putting the game mode on notice. We're watching and hopeful. I'm hopeful that much like the reward track, which was initially received poorly, ended up being something I think we can all agree was a vast improvement over what was there originally.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's still some people who don't like it, but I think most would agree that that we're finishing up reward track number 3, 4, 3.
3. I think it's 3.
That I wouldn't want to go back to what it was before. So it got there.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping Mercs could get there. It's just unfortunate that it has to kind of go through this cycle. I know that there's like continuous improvement and iteration, but like I don't want to be iterated upon. I just want the experience to be good.
And I will say one thing here as well. Like this is completely different rewards track. Like rewards track, people are still gonna come back to the game and play the game. They're not gonna stop like playing the game. Whereas with a game mode like this, like duels, mercs, arena, stuff like that, if you do something that's gonna completely mess up how the game is played, how everything works for it. For example, like for duels, they changed up a bunch of stuff, and it didn't even get off to a great start, I will say.
Which is a shame because it's so much fun.
It's cool, but it's like for that kind of thing, it's player retention and trying to retain players for that kind of stuff. Arena, like it used to be one of the most popular formats. Like people used to play it a lot, streamed it all the time. Now you go onto Twitch and it's like, where are you gonna find people streaming Arena? Or again, like duels. You're not gonna find people playing those formats because it has no. It's been like long essentially abandoned. It's kind of the same with Wild 2 as well, although I think Wild has a much bigger community that kind of backs it up.
Yeah.
One thing though, you are right. When the rewards track came out and people were upset, you're right. No one was gonna stop playing because of the rewards track, but a lot of people said they would, and it was kind of like the boy who cried wolf. But in this case, however, I think that those who are saying this, I think there's a little bit more there than there was with the reward track. I'm hopeful that they'll be able to turn it around like they did with the reward track. But, hey, like we'll see what happens. But I think you make a lot of great points and agree with that. This feels a little bit more urgency around this one than, say, maybe some of those other things that you remarked upon.
They need to fix the problems with obviously the coins and the grind and everything. They need to fix those urgently. Otherwise, the hype for it that you built up, it's a cool game mode. It's not my thing. I don't like crazy grindy stuff, but it's like it's a cool game mode. It has cool things, awesome mechanics and stuff like that. But if you don't pay attention to the player base that's like actively trying to play it, they're paying you to play your game mode, if you don't focus on those people aren't going to play that game mode anymore. You're going to lose money. You're not going to have a forum. It's going to die within a month or two if they don't make any changes. Because people are just going to be like, wow, this grind is stupid. I don't want to play this anymore. I'll go back to Constructed or I'll go find another game. They won't spend the money or the grind.
And agreed. I think on the hopeful side, Nate did get a reply to his outreach.
Oh, yes. The response. Yeah, so let me share the response. It says, thanks for the feedback, and I'm sorry you're not getting what you want, but like I keep saying, there's more portrait-focused offerings incoming. I'd say just be patient, and there might be some options that work better for what you're looking for within the next couple of patches. Oh, and I've passed the feedback along that players who are hunting portraits are looking for a better way to do it. So later on, we might see even more options as they respond to that feedback. So there you have it.
Yeah. To me, right there, I think that the biggest takeaway is not just that they're listening, but that it's so new, and like Blutrane said, they're iterating, right? However much I don't want to be iterated upon, I want the final result to be like, the desired one. They are at the very least iterating, right? So I think
agile sheep.
They need to respond with stuff that, especially if they have something brand new, they need to do it with urgency. And then you take care of it, otherwise their player base is going to die out.
Well, quick, find the loophole and break the game, right? So that they can fix it quickly. Or...
We'll find another thing to break it. I heard something about heroic barons. There might be another one there. I haven't played in a while.
We found other methods for farming.
That's not as
no snitching.
good.
No snitching. We need to keep.
It's not no snitching, but although it's pretty well known, it's certainly a downgrade.
There's several options,
slower, but it's doable. I still knocked out the remaining ones that I had in like less than a day after the patch. So I was like, yeah, all right.
Well, complaining aside and hoping for new or better ways to progress, I do want to quickly spotlight the new Mercenaries. So there are 5 coming out. Got them here on the screen. So we've got Edwin, who is a legendary fighter. Great. Another diamond portrait to try to find. Sneed, who is an epic protector. Those are the red cards. Eudora, who is an epic fighter. Mr. Smite is a rare protector. And Cookie the Cook is a rare caster, the blue ones. And so these are all...
Cookie the Cook is adorable.
Yes.
Cookie the Cook is the MVP of this whole lot. I mean, come on. Cookie the Cook.
That's great, right?
Let's go.
Get better than that.
So there is like I said earlier, there is a new tribe, which is pirate. It does appear that Murlocs, at least with Cookie the Cook, Murlocs and pirates have some synergy, so that'll be interesting. I didn't dig too deep into all the abilities yet, and we've got a lot to cover, so maybe that's...
All of Cookie's abilities are nature too, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh. So are Morgul's, I think.
Who cares about nature? Just play Murlocs, go burr.
I used the Murloc.
You can almost do both. Almost.
You could.
I use the 3 Murlocs for a lot of my grinding because the synergy actually between the 3 is really good. And so I just leave those 3 as my starting bench, or as my starting comp, and then whatever I wanted to grind on the bench. And it worked pretty well for me, actually. Like, it's just easy. So I don't know, we'll see. I really hope that there's some way to get these without having to pay an arm and a leg or whatever, but I guess...
$15 for one, or you could get 30 for 2.
I couldn't believe it. I'm not joking. Like, the price point on this stuff is absurd. And
crazy.
I've been complaining about it all week, but it's like, yeah, you can for one base portrait. It was what, $15, $20, something like that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
$15. And
Or was it you could get one character and 200 coins for what was 25 or 30? And it was like 200 coins is not enough to do anything. It's enough to upgrade an ability once.
Yeah.
Or,
That's it.
or twice if it's only at tier
brand
1.
And
Fair
so
enough.
what I was predicting, if one base character is going to cost me $15, when they release skins for the diamond is going to be $50. I'm calling it right now. I don't want that to be the case, but that's what I think. Like, and it's just absurd. But I don't know. I'm kind of sad about the whole thing. I really enjoy the game mode. I don't know. I've realized like over the week, I still have a lot to learn, and that makes me happy. Like it's something to do. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of synergy. There's really a lot going on. It just feels like inaccessible. I like being able to craft things that I'm missing, and I suppose you can do that for baseline things, but for a lot of us, I think, and maybe this is because we play WoW, we've been around for a long time, but like I'm used to collecting the cards and being able to, you know, I don't need a full golden collection. I think that's unrealistic, but like I like being able to collect the stuff and do it in kind of a reasonable way. And knowing that like I've dropped enough money and bought enough packs that I should be able to have all the stuff, and I'm still missing a lot of stuff is like my inner collector is like sad. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens here, but yeah. All right, well, let's move on before I start crying. There's so with the Hallows Eve, Hallows End, whatever it's called, events going on, there are a couple of updates. There's a quick duels update, which I wanted to touch on partially because it's Wild adjacent. The picture that I have on the screen is Diablo, who is being added both to...
So cool.
Yeah, being added to duels and also being added to Battlegrounds, which is cool. The exciting thing about adding Diablo to duels is that this is the first time that they've added a dual class character. And so Diablo can use cards from Warlock and from Warrior. Duels is pretty limited, right? Because I can only build a deck, my baseline starting deck of 15 cards. But the idea of dual class characters in my mind is super cool. Like, I got a taste of it at one of the Fireside gatherings when there was a new set that came out. I think it was with Rostacon's Rumble. Guy Grumpy hosted one that I went to, and they have these events where, hey, you open up all the new cards early and you can build decks using all of the cards. You can have more than 2 copies. You can use all the different classes in one deck and use them only for this Tavern Brawl Fireside Gathering type event. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. And so having a character that's dual class, now I understand Diablo's here like as a limited time thing and then they're going to pull it, but would be pretty fun to do if they make one ever that's like, you know, Warlock and Priest and you could use all the cards. You're going to break the game. But the idea, I think, is fun. And so, yeah, that'll be interesting.
And the 2 classes that Diablo is synthesizing are Warlock and Warrior.
Very good. I saw somebody post, I think we shared it in the Discord, and some suggested cards for kind of a big recruit demon warrior type thing, which looked kind of fun. So I'll try it.
Features Deck of Chaos. You're welcome.
Yes, yes.
I think this stuff's cool. I think they should do this more. Duels being basically like I would say, probably as dead as Arena.
Oh,
Need something
yeah,
to breathe
big
the
time.
life back into it. I think doing this, not just like now with the event, something like this consistently where, oh, hey, this for a certain amount of time, you can play these 2 classes, like it's a dual class kind of thing. They need to do something like that. They need to breathe some form of life back into the format because I have not touched it since I think the first couple weeks it came out. They need to help it.
Yeah, I was doing it for the one thing that I do like about duels. Like I need Demon Hunter wins towards the 1K portrait, and wins in casual duels still count towards that. And so playing Demon Hunter in duels has been kind of fun.
That's good.
But yeah, I don't know. The mode it died pretty quickly, I think. So.
It did not get a chance to live out.
Speaking of dead modes, Arena is rotating. So this time of year, they're doing their kind of dual class event as well. And so there's some stuff I just saw that it's rotating. They've got their Halloween stuff going on. So it's all in the patch notes if anybody's interested. A couple other news items before we start looking at new cards. They are going to be releasing these, they call them battle ready decks, with a new patch on November 2nd. So what these are is pre-built decks. They are standard decks. They are supposed to be competitive in the latest meta. They say, hey, some of these are so fresh they may include mini-set cards. Okay. What's interesting is last time I think we got one for each class. You could only buy one, right? But they made them available for everything. This time they're only releasing 4. And so it is Rogue, Druid, Hunter, and Paladin. They have not released the deck lists yet, so I don't know what they are. It sounds like there are going to be some mini set cards there. The cost is $14.99 US. And without looking at the cards, I don't know. Last time, a handful of us Shamus over here bought them just because the dust value was pretty good, depending on which one you got. And so, yeah.
And you still cannot disenchant Man-Crick, so that is why a few of us have 2 Man-Cricks.
Yep. Yeah.
Please let me delete them.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
I need a delete button for those cards. Just not even dust, just out of my collection.
That's great.
It does not pop up if you search extra. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I hate the 2 under it. It irks me. It's like I could have 2 Man-Cricks with 2 wives. Oh my goodness! No, I can't have that. Shame on you, Blizzard. Fix it, please. You're getting my hopes up.
I have a golden Man-Crick also, and so I've got 2 plus the golden. It's not...
3 wives. Oh my goodness.
It's too many.
That's way too many.
Is that bigamy?
In some states. Yeah. So battle ready decks, no clue what they're going to be or what the value is, but we'll see next week. So I guess we'll see. The other thing that's coming up, actually about 2 weeks away, is we are going to see another book of Mercenaries come out. This time it's for Cariel, the paladin character, who also is in duels, Mercenaries. And so that'll be interesting. I don't think that there's anything all that crazy to it, aside from hey, it's free content, defeat all 8 bosses and get a free standard paladin pack. One thing that was interesting is that in the notes here, there was a quote that says at least one mercenary won't make it out alive. And I don't know if they're just trolling hard because it's supposed to be Cariel versus Tamsin, and Tamsin's undead, right? But it could be something completely different because a lot of them have like kind of crossover stuff. And so if you're interested in the lore, there might be something spicy happening. I really have no clue. I don't think it affects the cards at all, but for those people following the story, there might be something. I don't know.
It's been a good story. They've been doing a good job of telling it. So I'm excited to dive into Book of Mercenaries Cariel when that comes out. But yeah, if you're not in it for the story, you either jump in for a free pack or you pass. But we love the story here, so
the story's been fun, and yeah, big shout out to Matt London, who's done a really good job of kind of spearheading this whole thing. By the way, he posted something earlier today that said that he thinks that he broke the game testing out the new Book of Heroes with the mini set cards. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens with that. I'm not all that surprised, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Anyways, yay for new stuff. The last thing that I noticed in the patch notes was that there was a note here that said, we've added a landing page to the Heroes tab of the Collection Manager to show your currently favorited heroes, organize all heroes by class, and more easily track your collection. So I don't really know what that means, but I guess we'll see.
So whenever, because I look at the heroes a fair amount, they're fun to kind of like look through. whenever I would kind of look through them, if I want to look at the demon hunter ones, or the druid. Demon hunter's a bad example because that's what you start with. But druid or warlock or warrior, all you have to do is tab, 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 just like turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. You don't have a tab at the top to just like click. You don't have anything like that. So it looks like this will solve a lot of that and make it more easily navigable, and you can go in and look at all of the different things and choose them a lot more effectively. Kind of the way that they explain it sounds like you'll be able to navigate it like you navigate the rest of your collection, which is intuitive. So this is a long time coming. I'm very glad to see that this is how it's looking like it's going to be implemented, and I'm very glad to see it finally be implemented now. But it took them a while to get there, but at least they're getting there.
Good change for sure. I will no longer have to get carpal tunnel. Clicking rapidly to go to the warrior portraits to keep switching between 1K and pirate.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, this is a fantastic change. I'm surprised they didn't have this earlier.
I wish that they would do something similar for Battlegrounds, because I can't keep them straight because they fit, it's just one after the other. There's no division. And so if you've got multiple skins for one character, like
they're like mushed together, and it's like,
my eyes hurt. You're just trying to figure, and some of them at this point have 3 skins, and it's like, which, where does this character stop and the next one start?
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, at some point, I'm sure they'll probably do it. I know Battlegrounds is a moneymaker for them. A lot of people like it, and hopefully at some point we'll get kind of an updated UI for that. But anyways.
And your most requested feature, Nate. Randomizer.
Oh God, I've been asking for that for
please.
ages. At the last BlizzCon, which is now 2 years ago, Ben Lee, the game director, answered that specific question in the QA. Someone had asked if they were getting a random hero portrait thing, and he flat out just said, yes, it's happening, we're working on it. And that was 2 years ago, so it's soon TM, right?
Emphasis on the TM.
So I would love it. I think that feature would be great. If they can do it for a card back, I'm sure they can do it for a hero. I guess it's just a matter of prioritizing. Anyways. All right, well, enough. Let's talk about some of these new cards. And so I don't want to do a full set review because we'll be here all night, but they did release all of the commons and all of the rares. And so kind of my thought here was to just talk about the cards that we thought were kind of interesting. And I've got them all like ready to go so I can put them up on the screen. I will say that just a trend with what I've seen so far with the rares and commons has been that there's new pirates for sure, an emphasis on pirates for all the classes. It's very strange to see pirates for warlock, but okay.
And mage.
Yeah, it's
And a priest pirate.
that'll be. Oh yeah, get to that one
in a second.
There
For
are
the priest enjoyers out there.
yes. There are new tradable cards, which is this new mechanic from Stormwind, which has been pretty cool. And there are new parrot cards that we've seen. There are some more options for the druid choose one type of cards. For those people who played Fandral, it is always cool to see the token art, even though it's long since Fandral's been a standard card.
Oh, they actually in the rares today. There's a card that splits the choose one. So it makes the art quite relevant, which is kind of cool.
But that one is limited to spells, so it's not really applicable for the minion. Yeah,
We didn't see the epics or the legendaries yet, but yeah,
there might be. But yeah, I like that they were doing they're still doing that third artwork. So if you manage to get both, it's pretty cool.
And specifically for Wild, we have the quest where all of your choose one do both. It's always going to be relevant there, even if it's not Fandral. So I love that Druid quest.
That's true.
It's so much fun.
It's a good one.
So we see some Druid choose one support. There's Death Rattle Hunter support for standard. The Parrots seem pretty okay. There's big Spell Mage support, some Libram Pally support. There's Battle Cry stuff for Shaman, and so we'll definitely see some of that in Wild probably with the Shaman Parrot. And so just looking at a couple of these, like I will try to go very quickly, and then you all can chime in. The ones that looked interesting to me at first glance, the big one for me is this Defias Leper. It's the 2-mana 3/2 pirate for priest. It says Battle Cry. If you're holding a shadow spell, deal 2 damage, which is targetable. Could be face, could be minion. It's aggro pirate priest with shadow damage. Dark Bishop Benedictus has already been really good. And so this is an easy slot into that deck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been playing a lot of aggro priest because even though it might not be the best deck, the way that the meta game's kind of concentrated, it does well into Warlock, and it has a shot against Hunter. This is really the card that the deck needs. It being a pirate is good because it can pull patches out. It's extra cannon shots, and it does damage itself. Also, you don't need to start putting bad shadow spells in your deck to proc it, because the way that the deck works mechanically is you collect Mind Blasts to finish off opponents, and so you're oftentimes sitting on spells. So obviously this will require testing, but I think that the 6 shadow spells, which has kind of become standard unless we get something crazy new, is probably enough. The Shadow Visions, Raise Dead, and Mind Blast. Remember, you have other ways of drawing cards as well with the 2-mana 2/3 that gets you a shadow spell as well. So this is an auto include. Question is what do you cut and how do you build it? And I won't get into all that right now, but definitely I think this will see play in that deck, and it will actually make the matchup into Odd Hunter a little better. I think it's still going to be unfavored because generally the way that matchup would work is, could you do some chip damage in the first 3 turns with your minions in order to Mind Blast him out before he could get Tavish online or Beardo? And this is a pirate, so it's going to push more cannon damage. It's going to push more damage through its Battle Cry. So this is going to be aggro priest if the meta doesn't change a whole lot, which it very well could. We don't know. We'll play this card, and this is probably the one that I'm not necessarily the most excited for, but I feel the one that I'll probably end up actively using the most if things kind of stay on the trend line that they are.
Yeah.
This card's bonkers. This card is a premium statted 2-drop that fits in perfectly into the shell that we've built, and this pushes extra damage. It's like you end the game with Mind Blast Burn and hitting the button, and this is just extra damage on the button. I've already theory crafted a list for this too as well.
Ooh, nice.
I already have a list built for this that I'm probably gonna pull out on the first day of the mini set. But I think with something like this, with this card specifically, I think aggro priest, it's a good deck, and I think it's like tier 2, tier 3-ish. It's
gonna push it. The thing with these cards that you have to think about is it going to improve the matchups that it's already good in, or is this going to line up better into the matches it's not good into? And this potentially, it's not gonna. I don't think the deck will be favored against Hunter, but it's pulling that in a little closer. So this is very, very compelling.
It's more burn in a matchup we needed in.
Yeah,
exactly.
To kind of
couldn't have said it better.
To kind of and everything you're saying. This does everything that aggro pirate, Shadow Priest already does. Just does it a little bit better. So this, like you were saying, depolarizes that negatively polarized matchup for the priest a little bit. That doesn't bring it to parity, but parity.
and for Goliath, if he's still in here, the fact that it's a leper kind of is thematically kind of on point as well. The pirate, I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, we're just happy to see that keyword because of ship's cannon, but it's a cool card.
To be completely thematic, it should be Battle Cry and Death Rattle.
Oh,
Deal
dear.
2 damage, right? But that'd be too good. That'd be too good.
It would, might get nerfed. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be way too good.
It's like saying like this is something we need. The deck needs early game chip, especially versus Odd Hunter. I've built a couple lists, especially with beaming sidekick as well to help give a little more health to our stuff to keep it on the board for a little longer to get extra chip in. I think something like this really helps with that early game. Get extra chip in, or late game get couple damage in, maybe more with cannon shots if you're holding cannons in hand. Like, this is very versatile. I like this card a lot.
Yeah.
My good friend NHL said, "Eel good. This is like Eel. It will see play."
Yeah.
It's Fogsail freebooter.
That sounds about right.
It's a premium setted frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, this is one to watch out for, definitely.
I have a couple others that I was looking at, and I don't think that they're that great, but they were interesting to me. People were talking about Parlay, the rogue card. So on first glance, right, it's a 1-mana spell. It says swap this card, swap this for a card in your opponent's deck. And so the first thought is like, oh wow, disruption, right? I steal my opponent's card, and as a 1-mana card, it's like easy combo activator. That being said, I read it again and again, and I don't think it's actually going to be that great because you put this card into your opponent's deck, and so they're going to play it against you at some point as well, and it's just going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So
I look at this card. This is all I will say about this card. Too random to be good, but random enough to be tilting off the face of the earth.
yes.
Okay. Hear me out. This is not a good thing. This is a fun thing, right? So, laying that foundation here first. Parlay and Myra's Unstable Element. There we go. Problem solved. Because give me cards so that I'm no longer just milling myself.
I'm the
Awesome.
fatigue. You got to go get a demon seed with that one. Oh wait,
Oh.
you're gonna have some trouble with that one. No, this card is 20 dust.
Yeah.
But you know someone's going to play it against you and hit your combo piece like 1 out of 20, and you're going to be like howling at your screen.
But like this is different than like Savory or Dirty Rat or something like that. This it's
it's
1 in like 30th, or like I guess at 10 point like 1 in 25, 1 in 20. Like
Sure.
It is nothing. But when you do
If you're playing Deadman's Hand, maybe 30. So
but it's like when it comes to like the odds of hitting something significant are so low. It is you do not want this card.
Yeah, no, I agree.
This is meme tier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. One more that I think also is minor but interesting is the Demon Hunter card. It's called Need for Greed. It's a 5-mana tradable. It says draw 3 cards. If drawn this turn, this costs 3. So potentially it's a 3-mana draw 3. I just thought it was interesting. Because Demon Hunter has so much draw, and that tradable is a good thing, and it's odd cost. I just was like, oh well, this is interesting.
Might be good in standard. I don't
really see it in wild. I agree.
Yeah.
But
so this is not a wild card at all. I like this card, and I think this thing is going to be absurd in standard. But Fell Demon Hunter and OTK Demon Hunter are already 2 really solidified archetypes that are very powerful. They do a lot of stupid broken things. They draw a bunch of cards. This slides in right there. I don't know if it'll get shot into Fell Demon Hunter over like Skull of Gul'dan.
Probably not.
The discounts. But this will be played in OTK Demon Hunter with Quest.
Yeah, or with the brutes. Yeah.
Yeah, brutes are long dead. They just do OTK with the quest. But I think this card is insane in standard. This will definitely see play. It's just not in wild. It's too slow.
Yeah.
With Odd Demon Hunter, how it's built, you really want to go hard on the 1-drops and then like Stilt Stepper, because you want to get Stilt Stepper value and stuff like that. And you draw this on Stilt Stepper, you're like, darn, I'm sad.
and just to be clear, if you draw that off Stilt Stepper and you trade it, that doesn't count as playing it, I would assume.
No, it does not. Yeah.
It feels bad card for that deck.
I think that this may see some play in standard after rotation, but I think until rotation, standard still has acrobatics, right? And
Oh
acrobatics is
yeah.
just strictly better because it's already 3 mana, draw 2, and then if you play both of those, then you draw 2 more. I feel like acrobatics is just strictly better.
I like this because it has tradable.
Yeah, the tradable
Yeah.
is
And we
definitely
can
important with
there's-
OTK in particular. I completely agree.
I think it plays a couple other like cards besides peddlers.
And acrobatics does rotate at the next rotation, so I think that that's when Need for Greed will really shine in standard is at rotation because it'll fit that niche really well. But I think really until that point, acrobatics is just it fits the niche just like a hair better.
Does Skull rotate, or is that a staple?
It's in the core set right now, if I recall correctly. But the OTK, I don't think is running Skull right now anyway.
And it could always rotate out of core with their new.
Right.
We don't know, but okay. I was just curious if that was from an expansion. I should know that, but I did not. Thank you for.
Yeah. Anytime. Well,
Straight.
and the only place that we really see Skull in standard right now is actually in Death Rattle Demon Hunter, and it's not consistently in those archetypes as it is.
It's in Fel
So-
as well.
Oh, that's right. It is in Fel. You're right.
It's played very consistently in Fel. I know
Yes.
that because my opponent in my last week of Hero discovered 2 of them and played 1 more on me. And I'm like, cool, I am just dead. I can't do anything about that. So.
Yeah, Fel it's consistently played in, but Death Rattle Demon Hunter sometimes plays it, sometimes doesn't. Skull is not the powerhouse that it was at release. At 5 mana, it was busted.
5 mana, we'd lose our mind.
Oh, yeah. So I see 2 other cards that I noticed that I thought were interesting, particularly in Wild. The first, the deck is not in a great place right now. I don't know that we ever really want it to be in a good place. But Big Priest. So here's this card. I think it's pretty interesting. It's called Amulet of Undying. It's a 3 mana tradable shadow spell. It says resurrect 1 friendly Death Rattle minion, upgrades when traded. And so what are you trying to do in Big Priest, right, is you're looking for spells. If I draw this, I can get rid of it. And looking at Big Priest, it's like, okay, well, I'll just put the Colossus, Scrapyard Colossus in. I'll put the, the statue, right? And if you really want to go down that road, you can put in Convincing Infiltrator. You could put in Light Shower Elemental or whatever it's called. Boar Priest.
Yeah. Tier 1 Boar Priest.
Yeah. So I see it. Is it good enough? Like, I don't really know, but I see it. And so maybe.
I will kind of say I've played a lot of Big Priests in the past couple months.
I knew you were a bad person, Sundy.
A lot of it, though, to be fair, was to target lineups in THL. So I will say that. But a card like this, I don't think we really want to slot in that list right now. I think Resurrect is better because it's literally 1 mana cheaper. And I think a lot of the minions that you already play are already the best minions you could play in Big Priest. You have Vargoth, double blood, and you have double Scrapyard in the list.
And Big Priest doesn't have a lot of draw, so you may not even ever see it again if you throw it back in your deck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're playing this just to summon our Scrapyard Colossuses when we can either resurrect and possibly hit Blood of Gulhun.
Yeah.
Which is
Or
what
we
you
can
really
do-
want.
Or we want to hit Blood of Gulhun, or we want to hit Vargoth to get another Vargoth or something like that.
Yeah.
Or we're playing the 4 mana card. I can't remember its name, but we're playing that so we can specifically look for something we want to resurrect rather than just, oh, this just does a giant. Maybe we want to have a Blood of Gulhun. We want to get more value off of that, go wider rather than just have 1/7/7. I mean, not saying Scrapyard is bad. It's just.
Oh, no.
There's different things, and I don't think the
Yeah.
list wants to run Statue again. I don't think Statue's that great.
It's,
Yeah.
I've seen it kind of come and go over the years. I think if we added this card to the deck, you have to like fundamentally change the deck, right? You'd have to not be running Blood of Gulhun anymore. And the card is just so good that it probably doesn't make the cut. I see Goliath mentioning this in the chat, and I really agree strongly. I love the mechanic. that it upgrades when traded, that's interesting. And I think it doesn't matter what class it's in or what it does, but like the idea of it getting better every time you trade it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun with Amulet of Undying. Like I've got a little bit of a theory craft in my head from whenever I was looking at this earlier today, running Silver Vanguard and a lot of the 8 drops that are also death rattles, like the new demon, like the proto drake. This is not going to be a good version of Big Priest. This is the meme tier, right? Like this is the fun deck, not
We are
the.
taking our rank.
It's a listener series
My
deck.
11 star. Hello, 10 star.
There's a reason why I no longer have 11 stars. It's because I like to do this kind of stuff, right? Like
And
it's
look
fun.
how happy Sheep is. As
Oh,
a result.
yeah.
We get much to learn from you.
Meanwhile, I'm adding Blizzard every time something goes wrong in one of my games. When they nerfed Tyrannus, and I'm playing Hand Mage, and he doesn't have any more, can't be targeted by spells. And I lost because of it. Well, I lost one of my games because he didn't have it targeted. And it was against the Odd Hunter that had a Hunter's Mark. I'm like...
I miss our OP dragon, wow. Dino boy.
I need my 10 mana 12/12. Give them back, please.
Well, Sunday, they would have fixed them, but they had to devote their resources to stop people in China from win trading and mercenaries. So no soup for you.
Them abusing Air Elemental and Heroic Barons. You know?
It's not the same team, not the same thing. I know, a joke in poor taste, but one that I felt compelled to make.
I thought
I
it was
appreciated the
funny.
no soup for you though. Like that was on brand with the Seinfeld callback. Good one.
But yeah. No,
All right, what's Nate's next pick?
All right. This is my last one, and then y'all can have a turn. Okay, but I think we all could probably.
Oh no!
agree.
Is my head gonna hit the desk?
No, man, we all know this card's gonna be busted. Defias Cannoneer. It's a warrior.
Some people are saying it's not gonna be busted, and to them I say nuts.
To them I say no soup for you. This card is crazy. Okay, 3 mana 3/3 pirate. After your hero attacks, deal 2 damage to a random enemy, meaning it can go face or minion twice, right? It's got to be busted because we've got a lot of weapons in the deck, right? I mean, early game we've got the anchor or the what do you call it? So we've got Ankar, right? The legendary pirate weapon that we typically will tutor from proccing the quest. We also have the hook or whatever it's called from N'Zoth's First Mate, if we get it early. The other piece is that once you finish the quest, you're getting a weapon every single turn. Like, this seems incredibly easy to proc, and at the very worst, it's a 3 mana 3/3. Also, this ability can go multiple times, right? Like, this is not a battle cry. This is a every time your hero attacks.
Oh man, you're gonna run Fool's Bane, Nate.
Right?
Fool's Bane. Game over.
Fool's Bane will do it, right? If they've got a board and you just attack multiple times and this just pops off twice every time. Yeah.
You're not going to hard run Fool's Bane.
So Gasu's trying to bait me in chat, and he's saying that he's back on the train, that this isn't busted. So I'm not gonna yell at him, and I'll explain why I think this will see play. You know, like the pirate in the priest deck, this card will make your bad matchups slightly better. So just like how the priest pirate's pushing 2 extra damage against Odd Hunter, this will push 4. Whereas the pirate that this replaces, the 3/4 that gives you +2 attack until the end of turn, at best can push 2. Now, if it sticks for some reason, you win the game, but that's an aside. It just pushes more damage, more direct damage, and that's nuts. Plus the high roll potential with the first mate Rusty Hook. I think that people are underestimating how much 2 cannon shots can be. Like, sure, it won't live. It's a lightning rod card, but like, we play the quest in large part because it pushes 2 cannon shots. That's good enough. This will be good enough for that. I think that the card, is it going to be insane? Not in the context of, this isn't going to take Pirate Warrior and make it seed lock, but this will help in the matchups it's not great with. We like pushing extra damage against even Warlock and Odd Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good card.
Yeah.
Whether
a
I've
great
convinced
card.
you or not, Gasu, like that remains to be seen. But I think that the proof will be in the pudding, and whether the card ends up being bad, good, or in between, people will run this. I mean, people will see this and they'll run it, and we'll know one way or another.
I
think
saw.
this card is
I was just gonna say I saw somebody note that it was odd cost. I know people have been memeing out with like odd Pirate
That
Warrior.
deck-
Well, here you
oh
go.
my! Don't get me started on that deck. It is unbelievably bad. So this card here, it's not busted. It's not broken. It's not going to be like on this level of like I would say like the one mana 2/2. Can't remember her name or Patches
Right.
or Ankar Quest or something. It's not going to be on level that.
Yeah,
This is
I
a
agree with
card.
that.
This is a very powerful slot-in card. I think fills an issue that we really need, which is more kind of like just direct burn.
Mhm.
I think this card really fills in, like especially well. I've been tweaking with a couple lists. We used to run Skybarge as well. And on my THL team, we consistently ran Skybarge because we found that we used to be really good. But I think the thing with this card, I think it's fantastic for Pirate Warrior. But the issue with the current Pirate Warrior list is that we have Ankar, we have First Mate. There's our weapons until we get to Quest. So a lot of it's going to come down to figuring out when do we want to have this played, what kind of turn do we want to play it on. It'd be like probably best if we had like, I don't know, it's so weird to slot this in on the curve, especially if we're looking to get Ankar down or something. Like ideally the best way to do it is First Mate turn 1 and to coin this on turn 2 and not like forego the quest. If we're on the
Well, you might want to do that against aggro if you're
against
kind
aggro and stuff,
of contesting board.
we do want to do
Yeah.
that, but it's like versus like I don't know, slow decks. This feels so.
Well,
I
against
don't-
slow decks, you almost would hold this until you get the proc off for the extra damage. Like just getting the extra cannon shots could mean the difference between, getting
Problem
over the
with those
taunts to win
is the slow
or
deck is your even locks and stuff. They're gonna have an 8/8 out early.
That's
and
true.
we need to get bored fast, and this burn doesn't do anything in that matchup. Where they're gonna have an 8/8, we're gonna have cannon shots that are gonna possibly hit an 8/8 and not kill it.
Pirate Warrior was doing okay into Warlock. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
amazing, but
it's
where
getting-
this kind of might have impact is against Odd Hunter, which frankly is a miserable matchup for Pirate Warrior, and anything
Yeah.
that pushes more damage can help, but I still think it's going to be a bad matchup.
I will disagree
Yeah.
and say I think you're favored as Pirate Warrior to Odd Hunter. In general.
Really?
I think you
Whoa.
are. It depends on the version you play, I think. If you got enough burn, if you got enough go wide early. A lot of that matchup also comes down to forego quest and just try to go wide as fast as you can.
I want to take that offline because I think we need to move on. No, I'm genuinely curious because when I've played a lot of Odd Hunter, I was always very happy to queue into Pirate Warriors. So I'd like to know what.
Like the big thing with that matchup is cannon high rolls. Get your cannons
Okay.
down and then swing on the cannon turns. Either that, like you go quest 1, cannon coin, like stuff on 2. It's very hard for the Odd Hunter to respond to.
I think my win
3
rate
or
against
4
Pirate Warrior with Odd Hunter over like several hundred games got to be like
It's
high
probably,
50s, low 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not like it's saying like Odd Hunter. Like a lot of people like Odd Hunter just destroys Pirate Warrior. It's like it doesn't. It's more.
Well, I
even.
mean,
think it's-
destroy is relative. I mean, keep
Yeah.
40% is a significant percentage, or even let's be 55%. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, regardless whether we think the matchup is favored or not favored, I think we can all agree that this card will be good into Odd Hunter.
This card will be
Yes.
played over Skybarge for sure. This
Oh
card,
yeah.
the slots in better. It's a pirate, which we want. I think that in the case of that, yeah, it's a better card than Skybarge. And I think we were going to play it. the situation now arises of, okay, what kind of matchups does this really help us in? What kind of turn do we want to have this down? Because again, it's a 3-mana 3/3, whereas Barge was a 3-mana 2/5. So you're looking at 2 less health, 1 more attack, pirate tag, which is significantly easier to deal with for like an Odd Hunter or a Even Lock or like something like that. Significantly easier to clear. So you're looking at sticking value. So it's real. I'm gonna have to test this out a lot and see if it's really worth cutting Skybarge for this. I like this card and I like what it does, but I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, we'll
I
all
think
try it.
it's- I think
called it
it's kind of
busted.
nuts. So
I called it busted originally, but
here's kind of why I think it's kind of nuts, right? It's analogous to what Defias Leper is for the aggro Shadow Priest, right? It already does what you want to do, just better than something that's already included in the deck. And I think that it's better than what's already included in the deck because with the quest line, you're going to have a weapon, right? Because you're tutoring your Ankar. Even if you don't high roll into Nizas first mate, you'll have Ankar pretty quick. If you've already exhausted your Ankar swings, then that means that you're probably about to play the Juggernaut and you're going to have a weapon anyway, right? So that's a good thing. Additionally, it helps you further your quest line, which the Skybarge doesn't do, right? So if you're playing the Defias Cannoneer to draw your Ankar, then you're furthering what you want to do. It's I'm not saying, it's going to be the Ankar or whatnot of the deck. It's just it fits what Questline Pirate Warrior already wants to do, just a little bit better than the tools that it already has. And so that's why I think that it's nuts.
I think the card has like a niche in this deck. It's like
Yes.
it is that turn. It's a turn 4 card.
Yeah.
Where that is like the good turn, and that is it. I don't think there's any better turn you could play it. I think it gets significant. It drops off significantly after the turn, especially in a deck that has. We're not running upgrades anymore. We're not running Bloodsail Cultists anymore. It's gonna be, all right. We're gonna play Ankar on 3. Hopefully, we have the Pirates to get it on 3, and play it on 3. Have the Ankar, then turn 4. Play this. Play another Pirate. Get 0 out of 2 on the 3rd stage, and then we're looking at Rikara on turn 6. Where after that we're gonna have 1 dead turn or 2 dead turns before we can get the value off of it. So I don't know. It's gonna
still
take.
valuable after that, though. It's not like it's a dead card later, right?
I
Because
know, but
once
it's
you
also-
play Rokara, then you're always going to
You're
have a
always gonna have
weapon.
Yeah,
And so it's always going to be that burst, which is what you really want. And
I just think
it
it's
makes
a lot.
it valuable in the earlier game because it's a pirate, so it's still advancing what you want to do. It's a utility card.
Yeah, it's
And a good one.
again. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I don't think it's broken though, but I think
I
it's
agree
gotta.
with that.
It's not one of those cards like I like Skybarge in a case of it's an early game plop down against Odd Hunter, and then we could start snowballing off of that. Whereas this is more of a late game. Let's close it out. So it's trying to figure out what kind of use case we want out of it. What do we want to do with this card? Because again, like if we're playing against an Odd Hunter, we'd rather have that Skybarge. I think, especially in the early game, slam it on. Like coin it on turn 2, then go cannon 3, and then start snowballing to oblivion. It's just that's kind of what we want to do. I guess it's again, we're gonna have to test it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna have to test
I
it.
agree. We'll have to see.
I'm gonna get too much on a tangent about how I don't think this card's broken. I still got cards I want to talk about.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's.
Yeah, I don't think it's broken. I agree with you there for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Sundy, what do you got? What do you want to talk about?
I got a couple cards here I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about another warrior card. I want to talk about Man the Cannons. This is a warrior spell. 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion, and then 1 damage to all other minions. This card is absurd. This is the card we've wanted for any kind of like a slow warrior kind of thing. We don't have a lot of like kind of those kind of effects, like just direct deal damage. Other than shield slam, where that's situational. If we have no armor, what can we do with the shield slam? Whereas this is always going to deal 3 damage, and even better, it's a mini swipe. This solo is like your odd paladins.
It's too bad they all disappeared because
too
it
bad
was
they're all
nerfed to
dead.
oblivion. Yeah.
But this card's going to be bonkers against that aggro priest. It's going to be bonkers against pirate warriors and stuff like that. It's going to help the slow warriors get better early games where we don't have to use our skipper Barovs or our premium removal to clear a board early. This card is nuts for that, and it's going to
Thank goodness it's not odd costed. Although
I agree, but it's like this card's going to slot into like your Reno Warriors. I've been messing with lists for Reno Warrior because I think it has potential. Dead Man's Hand. It's harder actually to slot into Dead Man's Hand because that list is really tight right now. But I've made it fit in there too as well because I think just being able to solo a cannon on 2 and maybe like patches and like I don't know deckhand stuff. It's like this card.
Three's an important break point, so I think you're right. It definitely is one to watch.
If it was 2 damage and then 1 to all other minions, this would not get played. I would absolutely not play this. Yeah. But now that it's 3 damage, that's the break point that we needed so badly. We need to kill cannons off. We need to kill void touched attendants and all of that kind of stuff. Where if that's something that threatens us, we need to clear it, and we can clear it now, where we don't have to use our premium removal like Skipper, Barov, and the good cards we want to save for a mid-game swing turn. Because we only have 1 to 2 skippers, and we want to be sure we can get Armorsmith value and like Eternium Rover stuff going on with it. Oh, so this is good. Eternium Rover 1 this on turn 2.
Yeah, no, and like you said, I hadn't thought about it, but this for 2 mana kills a ship's cannon and a patches and a South Sea deckhand, right? It's like, oof, that's
kills
a big,
void touch attendant,
and like the 2/1s and stuff like that. Like
three is an important break point. It's good
as kind of
especially
Sheep, go for it.
Yeah, it's especially an important break point that early in the game too, right? Like y'all have listed a number of high priority targets in the early game that can just spiral out of control. This is one card you don't have to combo with something else, like with a skipper, Armorsmith,
Wars and stuff. Like
right,
those kind of cards.
Those cards are amazing. This is just early removal. It's an important break point in the early game, and it's costed to where you're dealing with the early game in the early game. So this is gonna fit a really nice niche there.
Could be really good in standard too as well. Big thing versus standard is token or taunt druid. I shouldn't say token druid. I'm so used to saying that. Being able to clear off like razor mains and your like little 2/1s and stuff like that. This is insane for that. There is no good removal. I will say no good removal in Warrior for standard right now. This fixes that.
Ranker's good.
Ranker is good, but it's also 4 mana and it might be too.
Fair enough.
This clears Razormane Blackguard high rolls. So I think this card is.
Bladestorm. Bladestorm's in standard. That's good too.
Yeah, it only kills a 2/1 against.
I don't know. I did all that big warrior a couple months ago, so I thought those cards were wonderful. But I mean that was a couple months ago.
I like as a control warrior player for standard at least. And I've played a lot of it. This card is absurd. I think out of all the cards revealed, I will say it. I think this is probably the second best card.
Ooh, nice.
Everything that's been revealed.
As the taunt druid player in standard, I would either win in the early game against the control warrior. This keeps me from doing that thing, or I would lose in the late game because of rancor, because of like brawl. The late game is where the control warrior thrives for obvious reasons.
And we just need to get there.
And this helps it do it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mark my words. Sleeper card.
Yep.
Blutrane's yawns indicated.
It's been a long day. I'm just tired. That's all.
I have one other card here. Or a couple others. One is going to be Moonlight Guidance for Druid.
That was one of the ones that caught my eye too.
This is going to be the card I will say is going to be the best for Wild. 2 mana, discover a copy of a card in your deck. If you play it this turn, draw the original. This is.
I'm waiting for the Zeddy tweet with the Shadow Visions in 2021.
Yeah,
Power
I'm waiting.
creep.
This card is just. I don't know how to. It's literally a better Shadow Visions for Druid. They power cut Shadow Visions. We thought that was good, and they downshifted it to.
What is the most frustrating thing about playing Alignment Druid? Not getting Oaken Summons, not getting alignment.
Celestial Alignment.
This solves those problems.
Both of them.
Yeah.
And you can also like if you have both of those cards, you can get like something else you need. Let's
Yeah.
say, like an extra Innervator or extra Swipe or something. Like it's a toolbox card. This is an insanely good toolbox card, and
it will continue. And it will continue to be a good card long after we move on from alignment to whatever comes next, just because, like you said, it's just so ubiquitous.
Flexible. It's very it's like, again, for like melee alignment stuff. Cool, you're on combo turn, you need an extra piece of burn. Cool, do this, get your swipe, get a second swipe drawn after for 1 mana. Like, excuse me?
I played a lot of Alignment Druid on EU this month, and it was, I had a positive win rate. It felt inconsistent, and when I read this card, I was like, aha, this is just what it's going to take to have me take another go at it, because it'll just make it more consistent. For those that hate alignment, I'm sorry. Like, whereas when Martian saw this, I could see the tear, like the single tear running down his cheek.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, relevant that it is discover a copy of a card in your deck. So the fact that it's not specifically a spell is a mixed bag. You're not, by running a low break point of spells like you could with Shadow Visions, it's still a broader discover pool, but you're discovering something from your deck. You put it in your deck for a reason. It's still really fantastic. So that's not too much of a downside, right? But the fact that it's a wider pool, you're not going to be able to get what you need as consistently. But Discover still kind of helps curb that a little bit. It's a fantastic toolbox card. It's a great card. That's just the kind of one caveat to that.
I don't even know if
not
that's a
quite
caveat
as
sheet.
busted.
I don't think
it could give you Anacondra. Like, that's like, that's like,
yeah.
But yikes! I mean, the claw machine decks in standard are just gonna like take that out and just put this sucker in probably, because why not?
And that's exactly why I said it's a double-edged sword for that, right? Because you're not going to be able to get things as consistently to tutor specific things, but you can also get high rolls for the minions that you're looking for, like Anacondra, like another Malagos. Okay, depending on what you're going for, that can be beneficial. It's a double-edged sword there because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think this card is definitely going to see play in LC play for a very long time. This is a card I'm also considering for Turbo Tog Druid. If any of you guys remember that, this is gonna get 2 spots right in there because I need more ways to find my gadgets and Auctioneer and to go off on turn 6. So if you see me on day 1 of the mini set, I'm either going to be playing Reno Warrior, Pirate Warrior, Deadman's Hand Warrior, Celestial Alignment, Aggro Priest, or Turbo Togwaggle.
I like it.
I have a wide variety of weapons I'm ready to use.
Nice.
Then the last card I want to at least touch base on here is going to be Brilliant Macaw. This is the parrot for Shaman. 3 mana, 3/3, battle cry, repeat the last battle cry you played. I know a lot of people are hyping this card up. I think it's just kind of okay.
Well, the thing with this to keep in mind is that it will repeat the last battle cry you played, even if you played it on the previous turn, right? So, it's not like Bolner where you have to do it on the same turn. This is the card that every Shaman deck wants. The problem that I agree with you, Sundy, is it going to be good enough to propel them into viability? The answer is probably not. But I spent some time theory crafting this with NHL, or rather, he spent time theory crafting. I just listened. But if you think about it in like a Galakron Shaman, this could be good early on to draw extra cards with the 2/3 It could be a late game bomb to get you extra 8/8s with Galakron. It could give you extra invokes, so you don't have to play the bad invokes anymore. Like you could play this after a corrupt elementalist. So you can finally cut shield from that list. I think it's good. I just think Shaman's still going to be bad, and it feels really bad. But and then for Shudderwalk Shaman, it'll work with Shudderwalk. It also means that you won't have to do the Grumble. Well, you still want to do the Grumble Zola thing, but you won't have to do the. You won't necessarily have to do the Chain Gang or oh god, I'm getting old.
I think
Doppelgangster.
Doppelgangster,
I don't think
thank
you need
you.
to. You need to do one of them, but I don't think you need to go crazy.
So I think it's a good card. Is it going to be good enough? But I'm excited for it. I mean, this is kind of what Shaman wants, and it's cheap enough that it'll probably see play in every single Shaman deck. Well, not even Shaman, but is that still a thing? For now, it's not. Cry. But yeah, this is a really cool card, and if I have the courage to play something off meta, it'll probably be something revolving this.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of utility here. It could go a lot of different ways or be slotted into a lot of different decks. Looks fun.
Yeah, the versatility of not needing to be on the same turn is so clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, any cards, Blutrane, that you want me to pull up on the screen here?
Sundy got them all. I wanted to talk about the Shaman Parrot and the Broken Druid card, and we covered the Priest Pirate. So those are kind of the big three for me. So, I'm probably going to hold off my climb until the mini set comes out. And I'll probably have a Galakron Shaman, an Alignment Druid, and then an Aggro Priest when all else fails, and I have to smork to get the results I seek. So. I tried to join the cult, but I was exposed as being a double agent, and I was promptly shown the exit. So if you want,
Oh jeez.
We'll help you cross that bridge again.
I actually like the newer iterations of Deadman's Hand. In all seriousness, I'm a big fan and supporter of the Thresh package. I think that's really cool. So I don't know, anything's possible, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, Sheep, what about you? Anything that you wanted to talk about in particular?
Yeah, so Righteous Defense is one that really piqued my interest. So Righteous Defense is a 3-mana paladin holy spell that reads, set a minion's attack and health to 1, give the stats it lost to a minion in your hand. This is removal and, buff for hand buff paladin. You're buffing your stuff, you're removing some of the stuff that's on there. Hey, my opponent played Varian Wren. Oh, that 8/8 is now a 1/1, and I buff something in my hand by 7/7. That's kicking rad. Is it going to be played in the best hand buff paladin lists? Maybe, maybe not. But it's something that I'd fully intend to play around with and experiment with because it's removal. It does what you want to be doing in buffing your hand, and it seems like a pretty strong thing. Now, if we're mostly playing against aggro, it's going to be a little lackluster in that front, but that's kind of okay that there's that kind of rock, paper, scissors match there, right? That's not what it's targeting.
Hand buff's really good against aggro already, so this kind of, again, the theme of the night, this is shoring up a weakness that the deck has. It could be really good. It's a holy spell, so it has that flexibility of being tutored. I think you might be onto something.
Gonna be
Yeah,
I'd be super mad when someone plays this against me as well. You finally drop your giant minion and now it's a 1/1, and they've buffed something else for 3. It seems pretty good, actually. Yeah.
They play an Ethranon, you play this, and then you play your Crab Rider with Wind Fury Rush for 2 mana. That's now I can't count, but big enough to kill other giants. I don't know. I mean, it might be a bit ambitious, but I'm starting to see the lines.
I think this is a great standard card. I think this is something that every single standard deck is probably going to play. I think the fact that it's holy is a little concerning with Knight of Anointment. Since
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
a couple spells you specifically want to draw, you want to look for your Hand of Vidals, your Lemur Wisdoms, and if you draw this on that, it's like, I'm not doing anything. We are really struggling now. But this is such a good card against like any aggro based deck. Getting an extra buff in your hand is really good, and being able to remove their biggest thing.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good. The issue lies with the wild. It's it's you're not really doing a lot better in
Yeah.
wild. Again, same thing. You want to draw specific spells. I think on your Knight of Anointments, you want to draw. If you play hand still, you want to draw hand. Even if you do play a Knight of Anointment, I don't see a place where we really want this. I think I don't know.
I
It's
just
gonna
can't
be
wait.
hard to tell. We need to test this for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait to play this against a Tyrantus while I still can.
Celston, I'm gonna at you on Twitter again, and I might get blocked this time.
So that means you'll be playing this on Tyrantus for a long
I'm going
time.
to lose my marbles and uninstall the card game.
Again.
I'll go spend my money on more Magic cards as I don't need to.
Again.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna get played in Wild. I don't think the use case for it, like Librem's already gonna get killed by Odd Hunters. That's just the matchup you're losing. In Mally, Druid's probably gonna come back. You're gonna lose that matchup. You're gonna get better in the even lock matchup. That's about it.
Yeah.
Pyro Warrior, actually probably kind of weakens it a little bit because there's not a lot you want to hit with this, and you're kind of removing some cards you want to add this to beat even locks. I don't know.
Rokara, I guess, is the only one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be such but it's already turn 5 and they already have the Juggernaut down, and you're already kind of like, oh, I might be dead now. I don't know. I think it's too for Wild. It might just have too niche of a case where it's like it's good in one matchup. That's it. Good luck. So
Cool.
I think
Cool.
it's so cool. I think it's a cool card.
Yeah.
All right. And what was your other one that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, my other one to bring up is Hullbreaker. Hullbreaker is a Warlock card. It's a 4-mana 4/3 demon with Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Draw a spell. Your hero takes damage equal to its cost. This is a meme card, by the way. This is not a this is gonna be broken. This is gonna be fun. So I want to run Hullbreaker in a deck with a lot of minions and Deck of Chaos. So Deck of Chaos, of course, swaps the attack and cost of all of the minions in your deck. So if I'm running 29 minions and Deck of Chaos, here's a way to tutor Deck of Chaos and make my Malagos cost 4. Stuff like that. Of course, if you're only running Deck of Chaos as your only spell, why would you run Malagos? That clearly is not what I would do there.
I was just about to say, yeah, you're cool. It's a 9/12 for 4.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but it's a 9/12 for 4 do nothing after turn 6.
Right.
I don't know what you could say. You're also making your 4/3 for 4 a 4/3 for 4. That's insane. That is value. Yeah, I think if Deck of Chaos wasn't good, I don't think this is going to be good. Yeah, as you said, it's a meme card.
It's a meme card. And I'm going to have a lot of fun with the meme, and it's not going to be good, but it's going to be fun.
And we are
Don't worry.
We're in the holiday spirit already, giving away bonus stars to the more needy.
I've been doing that for a while. It's fun.
We have yet to see the Warlock card that will completely break the Wild format that will have to be nerfed or banned. That will be revealed tomorrow or Monday because, as is tradition, it's got to happen, right? We'll be 4 for 4.
Here's my wild prediction. I don't think Warlock's getting a legendary. I don't think they're getting one in this mini set. I think it's going to be... Druid's definitely getting one for sure, and it's going to have to deal with choose one spells. At least from what I've seen and what's kind of been pulled out, I think they're for sure getting one.
Yeah, could be.
Yep, it could break the game.
It's gonna be an unnerved to go Daniel's delight. It's gonna be an unnerved Dark Lair. It's gonna be a 2-mana 2/3. And he's
Yeah,
gonna
they'll
be
call
like,
it Daddy Glare or something.
he's gonna lose his mind. He's gonna go crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised, right? That's what always happens. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I thought that they were going to release some more cards tonight, but it's always tricky when we're doing the live show. I thought there might be some more coming out, but I'm
I know the next batch is tomorrow at 10. They
Tomorrow at
released the
10,
schedule.
and then
Oh,
Sunday
gotcha,
at 10.
gotcha. Okay, good.
Yeah, next 4 days is 4 days at 10 a.m. Pacific. Oh, or if you're...
No, they're only doing 2 more Sunday. They're doing tomorrow and Monday, and that's it.
Oh, it's the Monday. Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the Epic tomorrow, then I'm guessing Legendaries on Monday?
I don't know, but just two more reveals. Can I just say I really like the way they're revealing the cards. It's not gimmicky. It's like, here are the commons, one after another in a tweet. Like card,
Boom, boom, boom.
card. I know they need to hype up sets and they're not going to do this, but I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
works so well for the mini set too, because it's like we have a week to do it all. We only have 35 cards. Here you go. Like, you excited about it? Yeah? No? Yeah? Cool. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe they do more reveals like this in the future. I'd like to see that. It's just works.
Yeah,
So,
I like it too.
I'm an enjoyer.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like we're definitely getting another Edwin. What class it will be for, I don't know. Could be rogue, could be something else.
Could be neutral.
Could be.
Oh
And
yeah.
Goliath has a prediction. I think the legendary cards will be the characters we already know are becoming Mercs, like Mr. Smite, Cookie, etc.
Oh yeah.
That would be
That's
interesting.
smart.
I wouldn't be too surprised. So,
Is Cookie gonna be a shaman? Are we getting a OP Murloc shaman? Murloc shaman back in the meta? Make me happy.
No shot. There's no Murlocs so far. If we get a Murloc, that's gonna be so out of place.
you know what though? There was when you watch the video for it, like there was a Murloc all over it, right?
A Murloc
Yeah.
pirate? Can that be a
I
thing?
think so.
Well, the Merc for Cookie was a Murloc, right? And
He has a
while it
pirate
had,
skin, too.
yeah, but the tribe associated with Cookie was Murloc, I believe. It had pirate synergies though, which may be what we see here. That would kind of be the thing that kind of stitches the theme together, is if Cookie themselves has a Murloc tribe, but the text on them reads with pirate synergy, which wouldn't be what we're looking for in Wild, but I can see that happening for Standard in particular, and for thematic sake, which, let's be real, the flavor of this mini set is on point, so I can see that happening here too.
Yeah, pretty sure we'll see Mr. Smite, because that's who not only is new mercenary, but also I believe that's the Tauren that's heavily featured in the announcement video.
Okay.
Definitely an Edwin. I've got it playing in the background here. It's very short, some kind of watching, but there's Cookie as well. It has to be Cookie, right? It's a Murloc pirate in a like a soup bowl or something. So I imagine that those are probably on their way. I guess we'll see. Who knows?
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Only 4 more days, I think, or whatever. 3 might be.
It's all coming out pretty quickly, so we'll find out soon.
Yeah, this rapid release schedule is kicking rad. Big fan.
Yeah, me too.
Reveal schedule.
Yeah,
Right
I like
words.
it. Alrighty. Well, is there any other cards that anybody wanted to talk about before we kind of move on?
I think I covered everything I would at least want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to pull it up, but kind of special shout out to Sunwing Squawker. It's a 4-mana 3/4, one of the parrots, so it's a beast. Battle cry. It's Paladin. Repeat the last spell you've cast on a friendly minion on this. Just kind of cool. I don't think we're gonna see it a lot, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. But I think it's pretty cool. Blessing of Kings.
Librams.
The big blessing, Librams, like we'll see it in standard and the flavors there. So I'm excited for that one, but more for standard. So I don't want to spend too much time on it here, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I want to move on then and talk. This is normally where we would talk about, the meta or whatever, but today's the 29th of the month. We're about to roll over into a new month. We're about to get a bunch of new cards. And so I think a big meta discussion is not real great. Especially when the meta has been pretty stale and at least 3 of us have barely touched Wild.
Meta bad, conversation done.
I do. No. I was talking to Sundy last week, right? And, the conversation was really about tanking his rank with or playing meme decks on high level legend ladder, right? And so this is kind of fun. I lost to this on my climb this month in particular, which is Hand Mage. Wanted to kind of talk about this. We don't have to spend all that much time, but I thought it was interesting. And when I saw you queue up the Mage, I was like, what is this? It's got to be Ignite or maybe Secret. And I just was like really, kind of unsure about it. And then I saw, a couple Goldshire. Yeah, a couple Goldshire Knolls drop down. The Khadgar it just wreaked havoc on me, and I just couldn't deal with it. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll die then.
Yeah, so this is Handmage. Spoiler alert, this is actually not this is a take on my list, or this is my list, but it's tweaked from a couple other lists I found. There was, I think, a CN list that had it, and then Otters as well. This is a list that is tweaked a little bit to make the aggro matchup a little bit better. They added in Explosive Sheeps and Ziliax is in here. We have Spice Bread Baker to kind of help give us some life back when we end up just kind of dying out fast to aggro or something like that. Where this deck really shines is in the Odd Hunter matchup. This is really good into Odd Hunter. As you guys saying, it is a high roll deck, but I would say it's more consistent of a high roll deck because you're able to tutor your pieces very well. You have several pieces of draw and tutorable draw. You have double Frost Weaves, double Star Scryers to be able to actually find your Conjurer's Callings and your Book of Specters to get cards in hand to play your big things out. So consistently, the best case scenario, you can probably get turn 3 10 drops with this deck. You can get that. I have done it several times before. It is disgusting and it is game ending because no deck in Wild can beat that. But a lot of cases, it's usually turn 4 if you have Knolls in hand, turn 5 if you get Giants or something like that. The deck has a very solid anti-aggro package, although it still struggles. I think the worst matchup for this is obviously even or Warlock. You're just losing to that. There's no chance you're gonna beat that because cool, they have big things as well. Good luck trying to get past them unless you have the Giga Nuts with Goldshire Knoll.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, this is probably one of my favorite decks. My tweet says it was 191 Legend. I ended up peaking at around 140, 150 with it, with an 11-3 record, before I decided to go on a tanking spree with another deck. But besides that, I think this deck's a lot of fun. I've played this deck quite a bit within the past couple expansions. Or not the past couple months during this Nightmare After Seed banning. I've been playing around with this a little bit. Definitely, it's just that even lock matchup is so bad, but everything else it can either do okay in, or it's gonna win. Battlemaster helps a lot with that. So.
Oh yeah.
If you're looking for a fun deck to at least try out for these last couple days, maybe as an early day 1 deck, I've day 1 this deck with a really solid record. I think I went 65% win rate with this list. As on a day 1, obviously 11-star bonus, but you're gonna have probably better odds with Pyro or something. But if you're looking for just something fun and stupid to mess around with, I think this is a great deck for that. One thing I will also
I was just gonna say fun and stupid. That's what we specialize in over here. So
yeah, I like playing my stupid bad decks. I mean, hell, I played Dragon Rogue to Legend this season. I've played a lot of kind of just neat stuff. I think I'm probably gonna try to do something a little more serious this time, just to get the climb over with, rather than stall on it, especially with the mini set coming around. So I'm probably not gonna do anything this month, but maybe December if there's something cool.
nice.
Stupid, I'll play that. So, but for now, this has probably been one of my favorite decks to play.
Very fun. It looks good too. It was fun, and I imagine, at least when I played against it, there were so few mage decks on ladder aside from Ignite Mage that I was all prepped to do one thing, and then when I saw these cards come down, I was like, what is this? When you start playing against jank, like, it's hard to play around because you don't know what's happening or what the game plan is.
Yeah, that's why I've had success on like high legend bracket with like Ring of Warrior to an extent, and then like Hand Mage and just that kind of stuff, because no one knows how to play around it. You don't know how to mulligan for it. A lot of people at high legend, you predict and you can mulligan based off of, oh, I've seen Pirate Warriors and this dude's playing Warrior. It's Sundy, he plays a lot of Pirate Warrior. Therefore, I'm gonna mulligan for Pirate Warrior. Spoiler alert, I'm not Pirate Warrior. I just baited you because I kept my far leftmost card on purpose. It could have been a bad card. I kept it because I can bait people.
Mm-hmm.
And it will win on the mulligan. Obviously, that doesn't work for like conquest play. I don't bring this stuff out for conquest play. I didn't bring anything really fun this season that I can kind of highlight. But like with something like this for ladder play, it's unpredictable. You don't know how to play around it. A lot of people don't. Like, I have never played against this deck except for day one of the expansion, or like one of the early days of the expansion when it was figured out in CN. Other than that, I've never played against this deck. I definitely haven't played it against it in the past couple months.
Nice. Good times. Yeah, the list looks fun, and definitely we'll recommend people at least try it out and see if you like it. It's something different, and you will confuse your opponents if nothing else. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Always fun to see an explosive sheep in a deck.
Hey.
Two of them. There's
Exactly. Yeah.
And Ziliax too. It's a Reno on a stick.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Absolutely. All right, well, it's getting a little bit late. Let's move on to our weekly challenge. We actually had a lot of participants this week, and so it's kind of a little bit of a decision that we've got to make. I've been talking for a long time. Do you mind if I pass this over to you, Sheep?
Not at all. So the weekly challenge this go around, of course, was to write it's a fairy tale story time. So using one of the new skins as a theme, build a deck and tell a story as to how the deck fits the theme. We had a number of really, really innovative submissions for this one. So the first one is from Schmoopy Daddy. The deck features Anduin and is called No Doubt He's a Hoe. So the deck has one of all female presenting minions except for Derailed Coaster. So Schmoopy wrote a song for this one. I can.
Are you gonna
I'm not
sing
going
it?
to sing it. I'm not going to sing it, but I can do kind of a William Shatner-esque recitation of it if you would like.
I believe it's I believe it's to the theme of Mambo number 5.
Yes, it's Anduin's Mambo number 29 is what he called it.
That's good.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the derailed coaster. So come on, let's ride to the tavern around the corner. The boys say they want some gin and juice, but I really don't wanna. Beer bust like I had last week. I must stay deep because emote is cheap. He likes Northshire, Elven Archer, Light Warden and Spell Eater. As I continue, you know they getting sweeter. So what can he do? I really beg you, my Yogg. To Anduin, flirting, it's just like sport. Anything fly. It's all good. Let him dump it. Please set in the trumpet. A little Alkani phantasm in Andy's life. A little bit of Jackson by his side. A little beckoner of evil is all he needs. A little bloodsail raider, what he sees. A little florist in the sun. A little cult neophyte all night long. A little gadgets and socialite, here I am. And a little bit of you makes him your man. Andy's Mambo number 29.
Wow.
I remember when that song was a hit. I feel really old. Really old.
The song goes on. It is very involved and fantastic. Includes instructions on how to play the deck even. It's glorious.
That's great. It's pretty funny.
It's so good. Oh, I love it. Good job.
Yeah, that's pretty creative, and I think when we all saw the skin, like Sexy Anduin, that reminds me. NHL sent me the like R-rated version, which was something kind of glorious and terrible that I can't share on the show. But
even though I'm here, we can't share it. It's disappointing.
If anyone who wants to see it, you can DM me, but you're gonna regret it. So
you must be 18 or older to order.
I had to run Trax Eraser on my computer after I saw it. Like I needed to delete the evidence.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, it's something.
So our next submission was by Nya, who did the Hunter. Of course, the Hunter is the Robin Hood style theme there. So this one is to the theme of kind of the night before Christmas. So 'twas the night before Hallows Eve. All was quiet in Elwyn Forest, but through the corner of the forest, some movements were seen. Tonight, Death Rattlers comes for the Elwyn Forest, for the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Nizothingham.
Nizothingham, you're right. I missed that.
That's pretty good.
To capture, kill, or maim Faelrexar Hogger, affectionately Robin Hood, of the Forest of Elwyn. A flare lights from afar, alerting the many brave archers to the posts. Defend the Elwyn Woods! 'Twas the battle cry, as the eagle-eyed men grabbed their bows and marked their prey. The many arrows of the archers of Elwyn easily eclipsed the dark moon from the rapid fire, as the defenders of Elwyn aimed their shot, sent piercing shot, sniped with some power shot, and some arcane shots. A black arrow, saith the fair maiden Marianus Windrunner, beating back the invaders as if they were prey for the hunt. But through the breach, the Sheriff of Nizothingham glared darkly, very different word, with impish tactics, and his tiny knight of evil sought to send forth his forces into the breach. However, the brave Robin Hood saw through the sheriff's schemes, and with a trap of explosive infernos, set the sheriff's armies ablaze, and fairly crispy. And he quipped, "I see you met Friar Tuck." And with his javeled bow, robbing the rich, giving to the poor, and keeping some for himself, of course, fired a death blow to the evil sheriff of Nizothingham. But even in his foe's death, Robin Hood knew. In the house at the hearth of Azeroth, Sheriff Nizothingham waits, dreaming.
That's pretty creative. And I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Naya or Nia? Submitted 3 of them. So kind of bonus points here for Naya, or however you pronounce the name, please let us know.
Yeah. So I've now kind of orated two of them. Can I pass it over to someone else for the next one?
Sure. I'm happy to read them, or anyone else if somebody wants to volunteer. But I'm happy. Let me do the next one. This is from Naya again. This is the shaman one. For the Frog Prince Rexar. This is called the Cursed Prince. Have you heard of the Frog Prince, who a witch cursed to live out his days as a frog? Have you heard of the pious Frog Prince, who longed not for a kiss, but for devotion, and for his subjects' invocation, but was cursed to live out his day as a frog? Have you heard of the lonely Frog Prince, who went ice fishing for murlocs to fill his belly, for it mattered not if the murlocs were deadly or fiery? Have you heard of the brave Frog Prince with a mystical knuckles that evolved, revolved, devolved, and transformed his subjects to the whims of the great random? Have you heard of the delirious Frog Prince who lived among the lightning bloom and fungal creatures and spooky elementals? The prince started seeing triple and wondered, how long can this go on? Have you been into the swamp scattered with lightning blooms where the twisted frog prince Galakron lived? Beware, for he has jaws that bite and claws that catch. Beware, for he is Galakron the Tempest. The poetry is real. I love it. Niaya. There you go. Niaya is the pronunciation. And all right, so they've got one more for the mage. Let me read that one. This is called Red. They call me Red, for my blood-soaked cloak masks me as an avenger of God. They call me Red, for I wept blood when Theramore was shattered. They call me Red, for in my burning vengeance I met a specter of my old master Tony. But how different did he look? What numerous eyes he had, all the better to see my enemies. What grotesque body he had, all the better to shield me from my enemies. What dark heart he had, all the better to hate my enemies. What glorious maw he had, all the better to devour my enemies. They call me Red, for in my burning madness I have seen past the waygate, led my colt with the evocations of my God. A tiny swirl of frost, a tiny flicker of flame, a tiny spark of the arcane. Tossed into the mana cyclone for the favor of my God, for the opening of the waygate, freeing us from this blasted tower. Behold my tools of invocation. Behold the shattered one. Behold Cthulhu. That's powerful stuff. We're not going to invoke an old god here.
Two of them, in fact. I mean, Cthulhu and Cthulhu the Shattered.
Right? Those are some pretty impressive, it's like legit poetry there. I'm pretty impressed.
Absolutely. So we've got two more. So this one is by Kinray, and it is for the shaman, so the Frog Prince. So Kinray says, Thrall, the master of the elements and wielder of the rune spear, was a very powerful, but yet a greedy king. He, along with his elemental army, consisting of wailing vapors, have decimated entire kingdoms and claimed their weapons as trophies of their defeated opponents. Charged Hammer, Hammer of Twilight, Splitting Axe, and Doomhammer, just naming a few. Cragwa was the wielder of the epic Bogspine Knuckles, and everyone knew this, even Thrall. So obviously, Thrall was bound to attack and try to steal it for himself. And true enough, soon the battlefield was basically wailing vapors fighting witches' apprentices, while Cragwa and Thrall were engaged in a heated battle. Thrall threw a flurry of lava bursts and lava shocks towards Cragwa, but the giant amphibian was barely phased and returned the favor with lightning bolts and zaps, ending off with an elemental destruction. ending the battle between the kingdoms. With Thrall defeated, Cragwa sealed the deal by casting a plague of murlocs. Oh! Level of attack of the elements. And hexing everyone into frogs. While the dust settled, Cragwa and his army of frogs, along with Thrall's collection, were nowhere to be found. And soon Thrall, left with what was left of his comrades, a rain of frogs, and a constant croaking sound to remind him of his failure. But until anything happens, Thrall is the Frog Prince.
I love it. I love it. They're so on point. These are so good when you look at all the minions in the deck and read them along with the story. It's quite fun. I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah, and I love how Kinray's was not just a battle of the two, but, you know, the Frog Prince, Thrall, actually ended up taking the L there so that the hex could happen so that he could be the frog there. Like, it just thematically, I really like what Kinray did there. That was really clever.
Yep. Definitely enjoy.
Last but certainly not least, another frog prince shaman themed deck and tale. So I will go ahead and read Goliath's submission. Of lily pad, mud, moss, log, and stone, is made the lord of all swamps throne. His skin is green, just like his thralls, who hop and slither through his halls. Giant toads and magic frogs serve their lord in swamps and bogs. From the sky they rain and fall, while crocolisks gather for a brawl. The water, land, and even storm obey his call like living swarms. Don't cross the lord of his swamp folk, elsewise his hex will make you croak. With queen at call and royal staff, the swamp lord always has last laugh. Beware the swamp, O child of mine, or be turned and portalled to serpent shrine.
I love it. I love
Very
it.
good, very good.
I
like that one a lot.
These are
Quite
good.
poetic, yeah.
I'm really struggling to pick a winner here.
There's some good ones.
Right? Any thoughts? I'm very tempted to give Niaya bonus points for submitting 3, but they're all very good.
They're all really good. I love the Anduin one. That one. I have that song now stuck in my head. Thanks.
They were all very creative.
They're all very good. It's really hard.
I would say that top 2 would be the Anduin Mambo number 5 and Goliath's submission that I just read. I enjoyed that one quite a bit myself. But, you know, again, it's tough. Anyone that put this much effort into it to produce such a well put together craft of text is warranting of kudos. So
I submitted one as well, but I kind of did it to kick the whole thing off. It's in the Discord if anybody wants to read it. I did the Red Riding Hood one. But yes, I don't think it was nearly as creative as these ones here.
It's hard to pick a winner. I like all of
these. These are really quite good. Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. I think the Anduin one is probably the funniest. And looking, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't read the because when Schmoopy Daddy submitted it, it was, hey, I wrote a song to go with it, and then there was a link to a Google Doc. Like, it wasn't just listed there. And I didn't read it until, like, I looked at the deck list first, and I was like, wait a minute, and see that it's all female presenting characters, and then a derail coaster with like sexy anime. And I was like, I see the theme here. What could go wrong? It's very funny, very funny. It's hilarious. It seemed like people liked the Frog Prince quite a bit, and they all have sort of different themes, right? I love the rhyming kind of poetry of Goliaths. I love the kind of like epic dark storytelling of Niaya, and the battle from Kenray. These are great. I'm struggling here to pick one.
Yeah, I think probably the one that resonated with me the most was probably the sexy Anduin one, just because it did have that levity to it with the song kind of tying to it as well. It's so hard to pick though because they're all so fantastic. But I think if I'm having to cast a vote, I think it's a slight edge towards Schmoopy Daddy's Mambo number Anduin's Mambo number 29 there.
I wonder if we could get him to sing it and do it as a parody song.
Yes, that'd be incredible.
Oh God. Oh, that's great. That's really funny. Yeah, we might be able to do it. He gave us lyrics for the entire thing, and so there's the songs there. So I'm okay. I'm okay with calling Schmoopy Daddy the winner here. I love it, but I think these were wonderful and a lot of fun to be had by everybody, and I really appreciate. There was such a different, like a variety here, and it was really fun. I do want to give a big shout out to Goliath the Dwarf, who suggested this as the weekly challenge, and I really think that it was a lot of fun. And so doing things like this, we'll have to do some more things that showcase people's creative sides. Really had a good time with this one. So
this is funny. I like this a lot. It was good job to everyone.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So cool. Well, sort of put you on the spot, Sundy, but we're going to give the weekly challenge this week to you. And I see we're our little private chat over here. Like, can I do this? Yeah, you can do it by all means.
All right. So, as you guys know, I like a particular card. From Knights of the Frozen Throne, Dead Man's Hand. Your guys' challenge this week, you're going to build a Dead Man's Hand deck. But that's not going to be the only dead or undead thing in this deck. I want you guys to build a full deck with any undead or dead card in either the card art or text or anything like that. I will also give points to that. It has to have Dead Man's Hand. That's the main requirement. And then the other requirements, they have to be undead. If you have like the Frozen Throne Death Knights, like Garrosh, that's fine too. But yeah, you got to do a lot of dead things this week. It's kind of in a good theme too.
Good Halloween, yeah.
Halloween's around the corner.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
Really is, yeah.
Spooky skeletons, zombies, you know the deal. So build a Dead Man's Hand deck.
All right.
Undead Dead Man's Hand deck.
All right. So the challenge is build and refine a Dead Man's Hand list using only cards that are undead or contain undead in the art. That's great. And I asked...
That includes spells, right? Just to clarify.
Includes spells, yeah. If it's like a dead thing in the spell too as well, like if it's something that's like getting killed or like execute or something like that, yeah, it could go in. Is it going to be probably as thematic as like something else? Might not be. One other exception as well, if you guys want to do refinement, some death rattle cards too. Keep that in mind. Death rattle cards, I guess we can consider those as dead cards. But it's gotta be thematic though, like zombies and stuff. But like Kartut Defender, N'Zoth would work, because he's like a.
I see.
Yeah, El'Thazar.
So yeah.
Oh, big time.
Stuff. Make it cool.
El'Thazar, yeah, good bonus points for
that's
witches.
great. So I asked Sundy if he would be willing to judge the lists as the Dead Man's Hand expert, and he said yes. So we'll get to draw you back a little bit to to review these lists and pick the winner for next week. So that'll be a lot of fun.
And I look forward to seeing some cool Dead Man's Hand lists. And I bet the Dead Man's Hand Discord will be happy to see some of them as well. So.
Ooh, Ooh, yeah, the Colts. Talk about Halloween themed. That's great.
Oh yeah, the Colts ready for Halloween.
Very, very good here. Yeah. I'm typing up some notes real quick so I don't forget. Sheep, do you mind telling folks how they can participate in the challenge?
Absolutely. So, to participate in the challenge, put together the list and drop it into our Discord. We have, of course, the weekly challenge channel of the Discord server. So, drop the list there. Playhearthstone.com has a great deck builder right there. If you don't have the cards that you want to put together for it, that's perfectly fine. Use the online deck builder to put that together. Drop it there into that weekly challenge section of the Discord. We will share the winner on next week's show. The winner, of course, gets 2 packs on us and bragging rights. Bragging rights also comes along with a feature on the website in our Hall of Champions there. So, we will get to add Schmoopy Daddies when this week to the website there, and he'll get a couple packs on us as well. So congratulations, Schmoopy Daddy, and we look forward to seeing the best Undead Man's Hand list to claim those 2 packs next go around, as well as, of course, the bragging rights.
Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, well, that pretty much wraps it up for our show. Before we end here, I do want to say a big thank you to the patrons of our show. First and foremost, to Shokunin, who is the executive producer of our show. Thank you, as always, for your continued support. It's very much appreciated. And also to the patrons of our show. So Disruptor 108, Claudette G, Daniel B, Wildcard, Aramorn, Ben from Work, Turtle Boy, and Number Theory. Thank you all very, very much. You are very appreciated. For anybody watching or listening, if you're interested in supporting the show financially, you can visit our website at borntobewildhs.com. If you click on the Find Us page, there is a link to our Patreon. We have some plans that are as low as $1 a month. If you're interested in donating to the cause here, please do not feel obligated whatsoever. Every little bit helps, but please don't feel obligated at all. For anybody who is on Twitch a lot, we do have some pretty awesome emotes that you can unlock if you want to sub to us on Twitch. There's really cute artwork of our little dragon Nas that are a lot of fun. So yeah, that's about it. The last giant thank you that I have, one is to Blutrane for subbing, which I really appreciate. Always enjoy hanging out with you. And also to Sundy, who really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, donating your time and just hanging out and chatting. It's great. Thank you so much.
And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Great night to kind of chill and hang out and talk some wizard poker.
Yeah,
likewise,
sure.
It's always wonderful to be here.
Thank you. All right, Sundy, where can people find you on the internet if they want to follow your content or watch you?
Yeah, you got a couple places. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/MatsundHS. You can find me there. I'll post a bunch of dust bait stuff. I'll complain at the devs. And then I will tweet every 2 months. So I'm going to be taking a break for a month. So if you're looking for that kind of content, you can go there. Also, if you're looking for the once in 2 months or 3 months Hearthstone stream, I try to stream once in a while at twitch.tv/Matsund. You can find me there. Usually stream Hearthstone. Once in a while, I'll stream other games like, as I said earlier, Dead by Daylight, which I might stream tonight, But stuff like that, you'll find me there. And I also have my own Discord. I will send a link in the chat and also probably be in the description too as well. But you can find me there. I'll probably ping everyone when I go live or something crazy. And then you also get some silly emotes.
Nice.
If you join. So you can find me at those places.
Very good. Thank you, Sundy. Appreciate it so much. All right, Sheep, what about you? Where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, I can be found around the internet at Electric Sheep City at places where that fits, like Twitch. and at eSheep City on places where that doesn't fit, like Twitter. I've actually been doing more stuff on Twitter lately, so if you follow me there, then you'll actually get to see stuff come out there now. So, what about you, Blue? Where can you be found around the internet?
Twitter's probably best. Twitter.com/Blutrane, BLU, no E, TRANE. And once in a while on Twitch, although I tweet when I go live, Twitch TV/Blutrane. Get those links for you here in chat. Yeah, mostly tweet about Hearthstone stuff, some music recommendations. Yeah, pretty active on Twitter, so it's probably your best bet.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say that Blutrane has impeccable taste in music, so I always look forward to the...
I bribed him to say that.
It's true, though. I mean, the music part, not the bribery part. But
yeah,
yes.
I've received no such bribery, and I can definitely confirm that every time I go into Blue's channel, there's always a banger, so... Confirmed.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, as for me, I'm pretty active on Twitter. You can find me at NateWolfTCG. It's NateWolfe TCG. And then, more importantly, the show. We've got a website. Again, it's borntobewildhs.com. And everything related is on that website. So all of our past podcasts, there's a kind of exhaustive list with all of our past episodes and guests and links to the YouTube and all that stuff. We've got some YouTube content. We do both audio and video versions of this podcast. And so we record it live on Twitch every week. The video version goes up on YouTube. The audio version gets pushed out to all the podcast apps. So those are available. And then, of course, links to all of our past guests and their content. So if you're looking for other Wild Hearthstone players and content creators, we've got them all listed out on our website. And of course, this new thing, right? This kind of Hall of Fame for the past winners of our weekly challenges, and then all of our spotlighted matches for the listener series. The videos are up there as well, so a whole bunch of stuff to check out on the website. Final note for the show: we always end the show with a special shout out, and so I wanted to give a big shout out this week to Blutrane and to NHL, who had some amusing conversation with me the other night. It was a lot of fun to get pinged by Blutrane and ended up talking to NHL for about 2 hours about a number of things, including Hearthstone, the criminal justice system, some Discord drama, and living in Sweden. So it was just a great time, and I was very happy to hang out with y'all. So big shout outs there.
And all of those were the same topic.
Good times. Sheep, what about you? Any shout outs that you want to give before we wrap up here?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to shout out a friend of the show, Clark Hellscream, who right now is doing a special fundraiser stream for Team C's on Tiltify. So trying to help clean up the ocean and raising money to do that thing. So shout out to Clark Hellscream for putting some, trying to make the world a better place with Hearthstone. So kicking rad. Shout outs to Clark.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, Blutrane, what about you? Any final words or shout outs before we wrap up here?
I want to shout you, Sheep and Hydra out, Nate. Like, I love guest subbing on the show, but I always forget how taxing it is to put on a quality show for 3 hours. You guys do this every single week. Very often, like, I think you've missed, like, once a year, twice a year, a consistent, solid product with a smile.
Appreciate it.
Guys, you guys are tough.
We have fun.
It's a lot to do, and I always enjoy it. So thank you, and shout out.
Absolutely, thank you.
Shout
so
out,
much.
Born to Be Wild, HS.
Love it. All right, Sundy, you get the final. You get the final words here. Any shout outs or words of wisdom you'd like to end the show with?
Well, Blutrane took the words out of my mouth. I was going to shout out you guys too as well for putting on such a good product every week. It's insane. The effort, the quality kind of goes into this, and all the people that come on. And, I mean, you do again like 3 hours of shows like every week. It's insane.
I swear we never mean to go this long. I think we aim to hit about 2 hours, and then we spend an hour going down a rabbit hole somewhere. But
they're cool cards, though. Don't get me wrong. But no, it was a great experience. I love being on here. Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely.
Shout out to you guys, and also to the Burnt Cord squad. You guys know who you are. You guys are always awesome. Love you guys.
Love
and
it.
also shout out to my landlord who woke me up early this morning. Sleep deprived. So thank you for waking me up.
oh god.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm super happy to be on the show. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Hey, wiser words have never been spoken. You heard that on Born to be Wild.
Born to be wild.